He will pass John Van Beesbrook and move into solo possession of fourth place with that distinction. He's allowed 3 or fewer goals in 32 of the last 33 playoff games that he has been between the pipes, and that goes all the way back to round 1 of the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs. His 21 postseason wins is the 4th most in the history of the New York Rangers franchise, and he's allowed 2 or fewer goals in 10 of the last 14 that he has played at home in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He's 8-2 in his National Hockey League career with a 2.40 goals against and a .923 save percentage at home. And against these Florida Panthers in his career, he's 4-2 with a 2.83 goals against and a .918 save percentage. Let us hear now from the head coach of the New York Rangers, Peter Laviolette, speaking at practice the other day. And, of course, now with attention shifted to the opponent, the Florida Panthers, what type of challenges will they present, Coach?
I think they picked up some good confidence and experience in the last year and a half between making that run in the playoffs, getting in to the playoffs, making that run to the finals. Certainly the year that they had winning their division, the tough division, there's lots of things that they do well. They've got a group that's been around and been there, done that, and confidence, I think, goes with that too. They're big, they're strong, they're physical. But, Carolina's a lot like that as well. They play a fast, physical, aggressive game. They're a little bit different in the way that they both play the game, but there are some similarities.
And once upon a time, Peter Laviolette, when he was coaching the Philadelphia Flyers, had a goaltender by the name of Sergei Bobrovsky, who will be the opposition that the Rangers will have to face in this series. So what does Coach Laviolette remember about coaching Bobrovsky back in Philly?
He was young. He came in here. He was a great goaltender. He worked on his game constantly, a tireless worker, really good person. I've watched him because I had him as a young player in Philly. I've watched him grow in the years that he had in Columbus and now down in Florida, proven to be a top goaltender in the league. But he was a guy that worked every day on the ice. He wanted to get better at his craft, and he did.
Bobrovsky, speaking of how well he's played here, he's allowed 2 goals or fewer in 8 of the 11 postseason games that Florida has played during this postseason run, including the last 5. And you talk about how he's just racked up wins in the playoffs. He leads the National Hockey League with 24 playoff wins since 2022. But it's not just what the Florida Panthers possess in goal, it's the rest of that lineup that has to be taken into account. Like, for example, Alexander Barkov. And how do you game plan against him, Coach?
We understand their lineup. We went through it as a group, and we understand that he's a really good player. And I think that we're going to have to play well against the Florida Panthers, certainly him and what he's brought to the table, his size and his ability, both offensively and defensively. We get that. We acknowledge that. But they have other good players, too, that we got to make sure they've got goal scorers. They've got big defensemen. They have active defensemen. They've got good goaltending. There's a lot that goes into planning for a series. But you're right. He's a top centerman in the league. Our details on how we're going to match up or play things I'll probably keep internally, but recognize that what you're saying is true.
This will also feature a matchup between 2 of the league's top penalty kill units, both in the regular season and the playoffs. Florida was the number 1 PK during the 82-game regular season. They've carried over into the playoffs as well. 3rd best in the National Hockey League. The Rangers, meantime, checking in at number 2. So the coach was asked how you have to adjust the power play to be able to counter Florida penalty kill.
I think we try to adjust the best that we can to what we're facing with regard to the way a team kills. And there are vast differences between some teams. I don't think it's that different between these 2 teams. This is another team that has an aggressive mindset. I think that was, when we're referencing Carolina to Florida, I think they're different teams, but the way that they try to defend and the way that they try to defend the penalty kill has an aggressive mindset to it. And so you have to do things a certain way. But I think to answer your question, there are other teams that defend by kind of hunkering in and protecting seams and blocking shots. Well, yeah, that's a different message and a different mindset going into our power play and how we could create.
And what about this Florida team in particular, Coach? Are they the type of team that embraces the grind within the game itself?
I think every team does it a little bit differently. Florida does it differently than Carolina does it, but Carolina was an extremely hard team to play against because of the way that they check, and there's a tenacious element that they bring to their game. I do think that the teams that continue on and push down, they have to be able to get through that and have to be able to play through that. I do think it's part of playoff hockey. I do think you see it more when it gets to the final 8, the final 4, the final 2. It really starts to show.
Meantime, this Florida Panthers team, when they're leading or tied after the second period in these playoffs, they are a perfect 7-0. Mika Zibanejad, meantime, has had multiple point games in 4 of the last 9 in these playoffs. And Mika talked at practice about the 2 best teams in the East finally squaring off.
I think you're going to have to go through good teams to get where you want to ultimately get to, but it's a good team, obviously. I think both teams have played really good hockey over the year and to put themselves in a position to be here, and they were here last year too, so it's going to be another good test for us.
Meantime, the captain, Jacob Trouba, was asked if he sees any similarities between this Florida Panthers team the Rangers are about to take on and the team they just disposed of, the Carolina Hurricanes.
I mean, they're both obviously great teams. I think they finished in the standings. Both teams are pretty close. I think even the East as a whole, the top was pretty jammed. But yeah, I mean, they have a lot of the same tendencies probably, the physicality, the speed, the shot mentality. Maybe a little more physical than Carolina, if anything. But yeah, I mean, at this point, you're playing top teams. I think you know you're getting everyone's best. And we expect the best out of ourselves and each other at this point. So I mean, I think it's going to be another good playoff series. At this point, they're all good teams. You're not really finding a team that's squeaked in or maybe isn't playing their best or whatever it may be. I think it's 2 top teams. You're going to have a good series.
And do you have to match Florida's physicality in any way, Jacob?
I think we know they're a physical team. I don't think us as a group are coming into it any differently. I think physicality is a part of our game. I think when we're playing our best, I think we are a physical group. But I don't think it's anything that you're going overly physical, that we want to play our game, how we found success throughout the year. Fast and physical are two of the main keys to our game. So, I mean, I think any playoff series you look forward to physicality at some point. So, yeah, I would say it's going to be a fun, fast, physical series on both sides.
And physicality, the subject was brought up again to the head coach, Peter Laviolette. And does he feel that's something the Rangers are going to have to counter when it comes to that part of Florida's game?
They play a heavy game. They're not the only team in the league that plays heavy. And I think, again, heavy can come in different ways. It can come and compete on pucks. It can come in the battles on the walls. It can come from establishing position in front of nets. It certainly can be from finishing a hit or fighting or whatever it might be. I think physicality presents itself in different forms. I think our guys have been up to the challenge and been able to play our game, but also play any game that's come our way. And so I go back and look at the times that we played Florida this year. I didn't think it was a big deal. I know that there was questions at the beginning of the year about how we would handle certain teams and their physicality, and I think our guys have done a really good job. I think one of the biggest things going into the series is we're trying to establish our game, our plan, our identity that's worked for us. And along the way, I do think you have to acknowledge your opponent and things that they do, not just physicality, but what they do on the forecheck, what they do in D-zone coverage, or what they do off of face-off plays, and you have to make small adjustments to that. But I think our team has done a really good job of playing the hand that's been dealt, and I understand the way Florida plays, but I think we got to work on playing our game.
That is the head coach, Peter Laviolette. Don't forget to stick with MSG for all things pre- and post-game coverage throughout the Eastern Conference Final for every game the Rangers play. You can watch it on MSG or stream it for free on MSG Plus with an eligible TV subscription. Still more for us to do here on the New York Rangers pregame show. We'll hear from the general manager, Chris Drury. We'll also hear from Filipino and a little bit more from Coach Peter Laviolette. It's the Infinity New York Rangers pregame show brought to you by Infinity. Experience the Infinity lineup at your local retailer today. And New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout.
Step inside an Infinity QX60 and relax in uninterrupted comfort. Leave schedules, appointments, and meetings behind. That can definitely wait. Just turn on the available massage seats and unwind for just a little longer until you feel infinitely you. Discover more about the Infinity QX60 crossover at infinityusa.com.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window and Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window and Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window and Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window and Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS. To win the cup, everything needs to line up perfectly, no different than finding the person you want to marry. When the time comes to propose, do what I did. Visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers. They'll make shopping for a ring easy. Let them help you pick or design the perfect ring to fit any budget from their 2 by London collection. London Jewelers is committed to getting it just right. So visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the newest location at the mall at Short Hills. Mention I told you to stop by and you'll get the Michael K. treatment.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Dan Grasso back on the Infinity New York Rangers pregame show, brought to you by Infinity. Experience the Infinity lineup at your local retailer today. It's Rangers Game Time, brought to you by Infinity. And Chris Kreider has notched 10 career goals in the conference finals, tied with Vic Hadfield for the second most in Rangers history, and trailing only Rod Gilbert, who has 15 in 31 games played. And that was Rangers Game Time, brought to you by Infinity. Experience the Infinity lineup at your local retailer today. One of the storylines, certainly, of this game one of the conference final involves Philip Hedl, and he's slated to get back into the lineup. Missed the last 3 games of the Carolina series due to illness. Philip's going to be playing his first game in Madison Square Garden, as a matter of fact, since way back on November the 2nd. And yesterday at practice, GM Chris Jury talked about Hedl's status for this upcoming series.
It's been a long year for Phil. We're excited. He's practiced yesterday, and we'll see where the next 24 hours go. And as I've said, it's Labby's lineup, but it's good to have options. As we said from the beginning, his and all the players' health and well-being are the first and foremost every single day. But we're certainly glad he's got back to playing Game 3, and excited to see what the next 24 hours bring and see if he's a possibility for tomorrow.
And if he is indeed in the lineup, which we believe that he is indeed, he's out there taking line rushes now. Coach Laviolette was asked, what do you need to see from him?
For anybody to come in, let me remove the part that you want to get into. For anybody that comes into the lineup, we've got to do our job. And so if you're a defensive, physical player, you got to bring that to the table. If you're a guy that creates, then you got to come in and create. If you're a great defender, come in and defend. And so everybody's got to get their hands on the rope and make sure that we're all pulling in the right direction. So it's great. We had another good practice today. And, Phil, to answer your question about practice today, I thought Phil looked good. He had a good practice. So that's a positive for us.
And speaking of Philip, he addressed the media at practice and talked about the journey that he has been on, just trying to get back consistently this season.
I'm always thinking about hockey, so even in that moment when I was back home and I was resting and enjoying my time with the family, I still talked about hockey. Even when I watched the highlights in the morning of the guys, I was visualizing that I'm there with them and that I'm here at this time. It's beautiful for myself, and can't wait for the game tomorrow.
What is it going to feel like, Philip, to be back on that MSG ice for the first time since early November?
It's a very long time since last time, but I could see during the games that there's a great crowd. We have a great fan, so I can't wait to be out there on the ice and enjoy that atmosphere, but most importantly to give them the win tomorrow and start with 1-0.
Home ice has been kind to the New York Rangers here in these playoffs. They're 4-1 at home, and they've won 8 of their last 10 at MSG, dating back to the regular season. All time in game ones in the postseason at home, the Rangers are 22-8, and they have won their last 4. It's time now for the Rangers' best bets, brought to you by BetMGM. And as far as the over-under in goals for tonight's game, well, that's set at 5.5. And that was the Rangers' best bets presented by BetMGM. Get the BetMGM app today. Now you're winning with the king of sportsbooks. Please bet responsibly. Time to hear now more from the head coach, Peter Laviolette, and having the Eastern Conference Final at Madison Square Garden. Well, what does that mean for he and the team?
I think, I say this about players sometimes. I think you grow to appreciate Madison Square Garden, the history of the New York Rangers, the fan base. I think you grow to appreciate that more when you're in it and you're living it every day. You see how special it is. You see the passion in the fans, which is unbelievable. The passion in this fan base is incredible. The building, the history that goes behind this team is pretty special. So to be here at this point is, it's a great thing for all of us.
Does the pressure, Coach, build up or dwindle the further on that you get in a playoff run?
There's definitely a hype that goes. There's no question, getting out of the first round, I always think is the challenge, the 16, just get to the 8, be part of the 8. And from there, and then you've got to win a series. And now that you've gotten here, it kind of moves down a little bit from there. But I think there's always a little bit of pressure, when you get in and you're in part of that 16, you want to get out of that first round. It changes a little bit, magnifies, ramps up a little bit. I think everybody feels that. But like I said, at the end of the day, that puck is going to drop tonight shortly after 8 o'clock, and we got to go out and make sure that we're playing and doing the things that we want to do. And that gives us the best chance of being successful. So whatever you're feeling, you got to kind of push that off to the side and just focus on the game and what you want to bring to the table.
And after the morning skate today, Coach was asked if indeed, with all the emotions built up into the start of a series where you're one of 4 teams still competing for the cup, any nerves factor into the game tonight?
Not really. I mean, there's an excitement that goes with it. I think you get a little bit anxious at times, but not to the point where you're not calm. You can't think or you can't do things. The player's probably the same way. I do think that there's a feeling that we're ready. We've had time off here and getting healthy and getting a chance to rest and getting a chance to look at Florida. Now, granted, they had the same thing, so that kind of makes it even, but I think you can grab some confidence from that and the work that you put in the entire year, certainly recently in the last few days, to go into a game tonight. You feel like you're ready to go, and now we got to drop the puck. I'm sure everybody's going to be happy when we just drop the puck at 8 o'clock or just shortly after 8 o'clock tonight, just to start playing this series and get it going. I'm sure Florida's thinking the same thing, let's play. It's been a long time since we've had that game since Carolina, and they've had a few days as well, and lots of practices, lots of meetings. They're probably sick of the meetings, and they just want to drop that puck and play.
Just want to get it going for sure. As far as the head-to-head is concerned between the Rangers and these Florida Panthers, it's their second meeting all time in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They met, of course, back in 1997 in the opening round, a series that the Blue Shirts won in 5 games. As far as the regular season head-to-head, well, the Rangers have points in 7 of the last 8 meetings with the Cats, going 6-1-1 during that stretch. But as far as this particular regular season is concerned, Florida won 2 of the 3 games that the teams played, and they split the 2 at the world's most famous arena. Back on March the 4th, the Florida Panthers skated to a 4-2 victory, but on March 23rd, the Rangers got a bit of payback, winning 4-3 in a shootout. Adam Fox, meantime, was asked at practice the other day how his playoff experience previously prepares him for a situation like this.
Yeah, I think, last time we were here, I think we were the team that didn't have much experience, but I think there's always that talk of experience, but when it comes down to it, I think, our preparation for the games and how we're approaching them and our attitude during them, I think we have been through a lot of situations in terms of up a goal, down in a series, up in a series now, so, I don't think there's anything that's too much of a surprise to us at this point.
Chris Kreider, certainly no stranger to these type of games. He was asked how his mindset is different in any way from the last time he found himself in the conference final a couple of years ago.
It's really different. I think just the context, the situation. I know there's some of the personnel is the same, but a lot of it's different too. I mean, each year is a different group, a different kind of web of interpersonal relationships, and kind of entirely independent of the year prior, but I think just the place we're at as a team. I mean, I think going into this round a couple years ago, we were kind of running on fumes to a very emotional series, kind of coming from behind, and obviously it was a fantastic experience. Really left that all out there, but I think we feel like there's a whole other level to what we can do this year.
That is Chris Kreider. Chris, points in 7 of the 10 games the Rangers have played so far in this postseason. He joined Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky with hat tricks in a period for the New York Rangers in playoff history. Still more for us to do here on the Rangers pregame show. When we come back, we'll check in with Dave Maloney. We're going to go over the keys to tonight's game and the goaltending matchup as well. This is the Infinity New York Rangers pregame show brought to you by Infinity. Experience the Infinity lineup at your local retailer today. And you're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
You're ready for a perfect summer on the lawn. But wait, there are weeds, brown spots, and mosquitoes everywhere. It's time to call True Green. Get the best deal of the year and save over $200 when you bundle annual lawn care and mosquito plans. So all you have to do is water and mow. Hurry, offer ends May 28th. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price. Guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
The Honda you want is here, so drive in the moment with the versatile CR-V or Accord, both named a Car and Driver 10 Best. And when you're driving a Honda, you're driving the brand named Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value Brand for 2023.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details. Car and Driver, December 2023, based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
The New York Rangers are back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's time to take the ice for playoff action with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. BetMGM has you covered with countless betting options for hockey, including same-game parlays, props, teasers, live bets, and so much more. With a new and improved app that makes betting faster and easier than ever. And special offers for Rangers fans. It's no wonder BetMGM is the king of all sportsbooks. If you love hard-hitting hockey action, you're going to love wagering at BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of the excitement as the Rangers return to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Light the lamp with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Rangers. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly, 21 plus years of age to wager, and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8788-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
Dan Graca back on the Infinity New York Rangers pregame show, brought to you by Infinity. Experience the Infinity lineup at your local retailer today. Let us pause 10 seconds and allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Rangers hockey. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN FM, New York.
Getting closer to puck drop tonight at Madison Square Garden between the Rangers and the Panthers, which is where we check in right now with one of the gentlemen who'll be on the call for tonight's game. It is our good buddy, Dave Maloney. Dave, two teams left in the Eastern Conference. Rangers are one of them. No other place you'd want to be tonight, my friend.
There's no question. Excuse me. And it's great chatting, Danny. And there's no question. I think the regular season, certainly in the East, the Rangers take out one of the top three teams in Carolina, and in Florida, the other one of the top three teams in the East, who won the Atlantic, and the two teams that are standing are just top teams. I thought when the Rangers went into Florida at New Year's, I thought Florida was the best team in the league, and the Rangers have, the Rangers are playing well. There's no question. And the Rangers have closed that gap significantly. And when you look at both of these lineups, there's not an awful lot of difference. I might give the edge on the blue line to Florida. But beyond that, this Florida team will come after you like Carolina did, but they come after you with a little more skill and a few more guys that will make a play and are encouraged to make a play. So sets up to be a really good one here.
And you're thinking about lineup, and you bring that up, Dave. Certainly, Filipino's going to be back in there tonight, and we saw him for a brief cameo there in the Carolina series. But you think about the range of emotions he must be experiencing, because this will be his first game at Madison Square Garden since early November, and to do it in Game 1 of a conference final.
Yeah, I mean, Philip was around 2 years ago. He was around last season against the Devils. So, I mean, he's certainly had a taste of elevated play in the springtime, and I think he may very well be a key as this thing moves along. If he can stay in the lineup, that third rotation is a lot different. I think Kakko's a better player with Philip on the left side and Wenberg in the middle. I think the forwards with that 12-some slotted the way they are, I think it's a coin flip when you go down the lineups of the forwards between these two teams. So Here's to hoping, long term, that his health is not an issue, and near term, his health is not an issue, because I think the Rangers are stronger with him in the lineup.
Well said, well put. All right, Dave, let's get to tonight's goalie matchup, brought to you by the Macallan Double Cask 12-year-old single malt scotch.
Well, let's say a couple of the elite goaltenders, right? And Bobrovsky, who's starting for the Florida Panthers. This will be his 12th appearance in the playoffs. He's made every start. Obviously, he's 8-3. His numbers aren't great, particularly his save percentage, although he got better against the Boston Bruins in the second round. That save percentage at just 9.02%. So you're just hovering around that Mason-Dixon line of 900. Now, again, this will be his 82nd career playoff game. He's 37-38, 905 save percentage, a 294 goals against average. That does include a shutout. Originally a free agent signing with the Philadelphia Flyers, a very aggressive free agent signing by Florida. He has 2 more years left at $10 million a year. The 35-year-old Russian checks in at 6'2", $186. Of course, he won Game 6 in Boston, stopped 21-22 to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. He tracks the puck very, very well. Very athletic, moves quickly, calm in the crease, and as I said before, he is a 2-time Vezina Trophy winner. Although, listening to Steve Valiquette and Henrik Lundqvist talk about his game, they're not quite sure about his strength around the net, so encouraging the Rangers to get to the crease area if they can. Of course, no surprise for the New York Rangers, Igor Shesterkin will make his 11th start of the 23-24 playoff run here. 2.33 goals against average, a 924 save percentage. This will be his 39th career playoff appearance. 927 save percentage is absolutely stellar. Of course, he's coming off that come from behind. When he gave up 3, he had to stop the madness in Carolina, and he did. And Chris Kreider and his mates delivered, and that's where we set up here. Tremendous puck tracker, athletic, rarely chases a save, elite net minding skills from Igor Shesterkin.
And that is the goalie matchup, brought to you by the Macallan Double Cask 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. It's the perfect balance of American and European sherry seasoned oak casks. 2 worlds, 1 Macallan, imported by Edrington Americas. Please enjoy responsibly. All right, Dave, it's time now for the Rangers' keys to the game, driven by Nissan. What is it going to take tonight?
Well, we're just going to start this thing by, once again, when you talk to the players or listening to them, they want to play their game, right? Against a Florida team that's going to come at you with a deeper skill set and an equally aggressive, get after you mentality. So I think, what is the Rangers' game? They have to play with speed, right? Be on top of the puck in all 3 zones. Get there, so then you can make the play. But if you don't get there, you have very little chance of making the play. Secondly, the Rangers are a puck possession team, so the execution and movement of the puck, the precision of the puck movement will be a key to their game. And again, we do reference that over the course. You're going to be a quicker team if you move the puck efficiently, and where you put it when you got to get rid of it is crucial. You don't want to put it into a really high-performing transition team of Florida. And finally, compete. Again, wonderful 2 days of practice, the break. I was there yesterday, and I just continue to be impressed on how hard they compete at practice. Practice is entertaining, it's quick, it's fast, all those things that the Rangers have been able to take from practice into this season, and it all starts with compete. So we'll set it up here, and we'll go from there and see how it works out for the Blue Shirts here in Game 1.
And that was the Rangers' keys to the game, driven by Nissan. Hurry in. These epic offers are going fast at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today. Dave, outstanding stuff as always. Looking forward to hearing from you and Donnie on the call to get this one going.
All right, Dan. Thanks, buddy.
Alrighty, and this has been the Infiniti New York Rangers pregame show, brought to you by Infiniti. Experience the Infiniti lineup at your local retailer today. I will talk to you again coming up at the first intermission, but next, it'll be Don LeGrec and Dave Maloney. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals on tap between the New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers. And New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout. Enjoy the game, everybody.
This has been Infinity New York Rangers game night. Rangers hockey is coming right up on the MSG Radio Network.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Step inside an Infiniti QX60 and relax in uninterrupted comfort. Leave schedules, appointments, and meetings behind. That can definitely wait. Just turn on the available massage seats and unwind for just a little longer. Until you feel infinitely you. Discover more about the Infiniti QX60 crossover at InfinityUSA.com.
To win the cup, everything needs to line up perfectly. No different than finding the person you want to marry. When the time comes to propose, do what I did. Visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers. They'll make shopping for a ring easy. Let them help you pick or design the perfect ring to fit any budget from their 2 by London collection. London Jewelers is committed to getting it just right. So visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the newest location at the mall at Short Hills. Mention I told you to stop by and you'll get the Michael K treatment.
Experience the sophisticated taste of the best single malt whiskey in the world, the Macallan, founded in 1824. The Macallan is renowned worldwide for its extraordinary single malt whiskeys. Their outstanding quality and distinctive character reveal the uncompromised excellence they pursue. Whether your taste is sherry, oak, or double cask, the Macallan single malt whiskey is for you. Pick up the Macallan today at your nearest liquor store. The Macallan, the single malt whiskey against which all others must be judged. Crafted without compromise. Please savor the Macallan responsibly.
This is New York Rangers hockey.
And there with a shot, he scores! The Rangers have tied it! Chris Kreider with the deflection!
This is New York Rangers hockey.
They score! The Rangers lead it 4-3! Oh my goodness gracious! Chris Kreider with a hat trick!
This is New York Rangers hockey.
And it is over! The Rangers win and advance to the Final Four! Wow! What a comeback!
This is New York Rangers hockey. New York Rangers hockey starts right now. Live from Madison Square Garden for the Eastern Conference Final, it's Game 1. The Rangers versus the Panthers. Here's Dave Maloney, and with the play-by-play, here's Don LaGreca on the MSG Radio Network.
And welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. They will host Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final, New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers. I'm Don LaGreca, along with the captain, Dave Maloney. Took 4 games to beat Washington, 6 hard-fought games against the Carolina Hurricanes, and now they go up against the defending Eastern Conference champion Florida Panthers.
And again, being around the room the last couple of days, it's a little bit like the transition from Washington to Carolina. Now Carolina, Florida, you had basically the better part of 5 or 6 days off. They had days off. They had optionals. They had 2 days of really good practices. And in chatting with a couple of the fellas, they're anxious to get going. And I think the respect that's shown for both teams when you hear and listen to press conferences and media meetings, it is respect that's garnered, right? I mean, this Florida team is a hell of a hockey team, and this Ranger team is a hell of a hockey team. So at this time of the year, what usually happens, ideally you want the good teams playing well. And that's basically played out in the playoffs as dictated by the regular season. So, yeah, this should be a good one once again. And I expect this building to be alive early. And the key is the Rangers have to keep that building involved over the better part of 60 minutes.
6 long days between eliminating the Hurricanes. They had to wait 7 days to take on the Hurricanes after disposing of the Capitals, and they had 6 days off between the end of the regular season and the first round. So they're kind of used to that. A lot of talk about the last time the Rangers were in the conference final, Dave, and that was 2 years ago against Tampa. How big a difference is it? They played 14 games going into that third round 2 years ago. This year, just 10. How big a difference is that for a player?
Well, I don't remember the sequencing of the time off, which I suppose would have been easy enough to find out. I don't think. I think it benefits. Obviously, it's time off. If there's Ryan Lindgren basically didn't skate, so there's something funky going on there. Adam Fox took the optional off. So there's been some suspicion that there might be something going on there, although he admitted yesterday he feels fine. So I think the key to that whole sequence 2 years ago is the majority of this hockey club has been there, done that. You know, they're not going to get rattled, and they certainly have shown over the course of this season that, boy, it takes an awful lot to rattle this group. Yeah. They are never out of it.
And no big advantage against Florida. Florida wrapped their series up the next day after the Rangers did, and they've played 11 games to the Rangers 10. So pretty even footing as we enter this game tonight here, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. The Florida Panthers will start the line of Tarasenko, Reinhart, and Barkov with Ekblad and Forsling on the blue line. Sergei Bobrovsky between the pipes for the Panthers. For the Rangers, they'll start their top line of Kreider, Zibanejad, and Roslovic with Trouba and Miller on the blue line, and of course Igor Shesterkin getting the chance to start again for the New York Rangers. Rangers will scratch number 5, Chad Ruhwedel, number 6, Zach Jones, number 17, Blake Wheeler. What a story that is, Dave, the fact that he's eligible to play. Number 22, Johnny Brodzinski, number 73, Matt Rempe, and number 84, Adam Enstrom. The officials for tonight's game, your referees will be Steve Kazari and Dan O'Rourke. Your linesmen will be Steve Barton and Matt McPherson. 3 times these teams battled during the regular season. Florida taking both, but the Rangers won the last one here at the Garden back in March in a shootout.
Yeah, again, that was a game the Rangers had to win, and they did in a shootout. Played, it's interesting, and when you listen to Florida talk about the difference of this, absolutely.
Garden filling up here. Tremendous atmosphere around New York. A hot day. We'll see how that affects the ice. Fans with their lights. Nothing better than a Garden crowd when you get this deep into the playoffs. Second time in 3 years the Rangers have made it this far. And we're ready for Game 1. Rangers and the Florida Panthers. Let's go ice level for tonight's opening ceremony.
We ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem. Tonight's colors are presented by the Fire Department of New York. And here to sing the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome back Grammy Award-winning baritone, John Brancy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through
national anthem. Defending radio left will be Sergei Bobrovsky, 8'3", 2.37 goals against average, .902 save percentage. Defending radio right, Igor Shesterkin, 8-2 with a 2.40 goal against average and a .923 save percentage. The opening puck drop is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
Well, as is customary here from our perch at Madison Square Garden, the benches across the way. We're just about directly across from the Florida Panther bench. The penalty box is just below our perch. The Zamboni entrance down to the far left. And as you mentioned, Donnie, the Rangers will skate right to left here in the opening period at Madison Square Garden. Boy, it is full in here. Press row in front of us. You're in here. Arizona's in here on a Tuesday night in February. There's like 4 people down there. It is packed in here. And away we go.
Rangers win the faceoff. We're underway. Thanks for joining us here on a Wednesday night. Game 1, Eastern Conference Final. Rangers and the Panthers. We're down to just 4. Rangers and the Panthers in the East. Oilers and the Stars in the West as the Panthers come up. Tarasenko, cross ice to Barkov, Lisa for Reinhart, back to Barkov, but he's steered away by Trouba into the corner. Comes up the near wall. Reinhardt's going to spin it back behind the net. Waiting for it is Igor, but it bounces over his stick, allowing Barkov to backhand it to the point for a shot on. And a save by Igor Shesterkin, a shot by Forsling from the far point.
Well, a really good exit pass by Ekblad catches the Rangers again with three Panthers coming through that neutral zone with a lot of room, right? So again, you want to press, but you can't allow a team that can make a play and wants to make a play, the room to make the play.
Lundell wins the faceoff. Mikula holds it in at the far point, fires it into the corner. Fox battling at the near corner with Verhaeghe. Comes up the near wall to the hash marks, then backhands it back into the corner. Rangers can't clear as it's held in by Verhaeghe. Couldn't be cleared by Trocheck. Lundell far board sandwiched away by the Rangers from Fox and Vesey, and it goes back into the corner. Verhaeghe puts it back behind the net. Lundell, near wing, still with it to the point, then backhands it back over to Tkachuk. Tkachuk, far point. Montour's shot goes wide. Verhaeghe can't handle the rebound off the boards. Mikula fires a shot, deflects on. Taken by Verhaeghe behind the net, tries to stuff it near side. It doesn't go. Goes to the far boards. Tkachuk with a big hit. But the Rangers have the puck and they clear it back out to center.
There you go. There's another play on the puck. The Rangers have the puck. Goudreau and throws it to the middle of the ice. Florida gets it.
Montour near circle on his backhand, leaves it back for Bennett. Slings a shot on and a save by Igor. Rebound knocked between the circles to Zibanejad with a head of steam, and the Rangers may have numbers. Goes back out to the far boards. Rangers with it between the circles, and the shot goes wide by Panarin. Back behind the net. Pass to Panarin, picked off by Bennett. Rangers can't keep it in as it's cleared out by Luosterainen, and the Rangers will have to start over with Schneider. Passes through Zibanejad, so the Panthers have it back on their own end and clear. Outlet pass is intercepted by Zibanejad, but he can't bring it into the zone. Bennett leaves it back out to the far wing with Luosterainen. Then he drops it back off for a shot by Cousins and a save by Igor. And the Rangers now transition with Lafreniere, but he loses the puck and it's cleared back out by Kulikov, who finds Cousins and fires it all the way down. Cousins will collect it back at the near wing, climbs to the point, loses the puck, and it goes back out to center. Come back down by Forsling will send the Panthers back down. Back behind the net as Igor steers it to Trouba, up the far wall, helped along to the point but not out. Cousins dangles the blue line, but it's poked away from him to Miller, and now the Rangers will bring it up. The Panthers will change some body. Trouba back to Miller at the blue line, outletted off of Philip Hedl, hitting the ice for the first time here at Madison Square Garden since November 2nd. Bobrovsky lost his stick and then lost the puck in the process. Wenberg to Hedl, back out to the point, and a shot by Lindgren is knocked down in front. Hedl back in the corner. Ekblad steals it back away. Kakko then takes it, can't center because it goes off the back of the net. Kakko still battles for Hedl. Hedl swings one around that goes off a stick and wide. Wenberg at the near point. Rangers buzzing here with Kakko into the corner. Climbs the near wall to the hash marks. Digs it back out. Loses to Ekblad, who puts it back into the corner. Hedl battles Forsling all to the right of Bobrovsky. Kakko can't get it out front. It'll be played by Ekblad off the wall, back out to center. Fox spins it back to Lindgren, brings it into the zone, just flips it all the way down as the Rangers finish up a change.
Great first shift from the Wenberg line. I really think that this line could make a huge difference in this series.
Here comes Miller, left wing, gets to the circle. Miller drops it off of Zibanejad's stick. Lundell will bring it up on a 1-on-2, goes to the far wing, flips a shot that goes over the net, hard off the glass, back out to the neutral zone for Kreider. Kreider fights with Tkachuk, finds Zibanejad between the circles, drops it back off. Roslovic with a shot that goes wide. Lundell bounces off of Zibanejad, loses the puck into the corner. Mikula there, Lundell there, back behind the net for Montour, is going to skate to the near wing and then flip it back out to center. Verhaeghe trying to grab the bouncing puck. He'll fire it all the way down. Igor puts it into the corner. Panthers still with it. Verhaeghe looking for Tkachuk. Goes back off of a stick, and the Rangers now able to clear it back out to center. Where it's taken back here by Panarin. Reach behind, fires a shot. It was Trocheck and a save by Bobrovsky.
Maybe a slash here. I think
we get a whistle.
I'm not quite sure why the stoppage of play was.
Bobrovsky lost
his mask. Okay. I thought there was going to be a slash on the offensive zone entry from a Rangers standpoint. Bobrovsky. Now, again, Bobrovsky, talked to Steve Valiquette before the game. He has a penchant for dropping his stick. Now, at one point, the stick comes out of his hands behind the net, and he gets himself in a little bit of trouble. In the meantime, the mask flips off. That stops play with 15:32 left in the opening period, and it looks like it'll be a face-off to the right of the Florida netminder, Donnie.
Dave, he took a shot low to the mask and then shook his head to get the mask off, probably because it wasn't on his head right. And no matter what happens, when the goaltender loses his mask, they blow the whistle. So the face-off will be to the right of Bobrovsky. Rodriguez versus Trocheck. Both of these teams have won 50% of the face-offs coming in the playoffs. Rodriguez wins, but it's Panarin who grabbed it in the corner, centered, looking for Lafreniere, but it's taken away by Listerrainen. Panarin swoops in, gets it back out to the point. Schneider's shot off the shoulder. Bobrovsky goes high into the air, trying to collect it. The Rangers can't clear. Trocheck can't get a shot away. Lafreniere fans on his shot, and then it trickles back out to center.
Yeah, nice job off the draw. The Rangers finding a puck that was bouncing all over the place.
Tipped ahead by Lafreniere to avoid the icing so the Rangers can change bodies. 5 minutes into a scoreless first period, both teams with a couple of shots on goal. Mikola's outlet pass doesn't hit Lomberg, allowing the Rangers to clear it out with Vesey. Off the near boards looking for Lindgren, but it's knocked by Ekman Larsson and down. Fox will collect it back in his own end. Lomberg in his face, so he leaves it back for Ryan Lindgren and uses the near glass to clear it out. Goes through Cooling and down. Kulikov will play it to the side in the corner. Spins off a check on his forehand. Lose the puck, but Stenlund's there to save it. Get it back out to Ekman Larsson, who clears it all the way down. Tried an alley-oop pass to Cousins, missed them, and it creates an icing. A face-off back down to Bobrovsky.
Yeah, that'll come all the way back down. And you get Kulikov and Ekman Larsson, right? And they were basically to be fillers for the fact that Montour and Ekblad were out, but both played well enough to stay in the lineup. And Ekman Larsson's had a bit of a rebirth in his career to battle ankle injuries. Kulikov bounced around a little bit. In the meantime, we face off here to the left of the Florida netminder.
Zibanejad, leader with 11 points for the Rangers, will take the face-off against Stenlund. Scramble for possession, gobbled up by Lomberg and clears it to center. Trouba on his horse to his own blue line, backs up to the circle. Cross-ice pass to Miller, and the Rangers will bring it back up with Trouba. Crest of center house, outlet pass goes off of the stick of Zibanejad, allowing Ekblad to play it to the far boards. Roslovic contends with him, takes it away. Centering pass goes off the skate back atop of Trouba with a blast, and it's knocked down by Ekblad, goes to the corner. Slapped out by Zibanejad. Near corner, Roslovic climbs the wall back out to the point for Miller. Miller slings the shot that goes over Reinhart to the corner. Tarasenko, the former Ranger, will gather it up at the right wing and then clear it back out to Ekblad. Bouncing puck knocked out of the air by Reinhart. Collects it near circle. Sharp angle shot saved by Igor. Goes to the far boards. Fortunately can't keep it in thanks to the stick of Roslovic, so the Panthers have to regroup and they'll make a change.
How about Reinhardt's little tap out of midair to put the puck in the offensive zone? 50-plus goals on the season.
It's good hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, exactly.
Puck goes off of his stick and out of play. We get a whistle with 13:34 to go in the first period. And the Rangers and the Panthers are scoreless here in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final from Madison Square Garden. You're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer Sales event when Dave, the sales guy, asks, "Want to test drive the Rogue?" And I'm like, "Let's go." We're driving when Dave says, "Check out the VC turbo engine." I hit the gas and whoosh. I'm like, "Okay, I wasn't expecting that." Dave goes, "If you think that's cool, watch this." Dave shows me the miles per gallon and I'm like, "Whoa, that's pretty impressive fuel economy." Dave mentions, "These new cars are going fast." And in that moment, I had to have that Rogue. Crazy, right?
Wait till you hear how I got my Sentra. Now get a low $269 per month lease for 36 months on Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. Well-qualified lessees, 2024 Rogue S all-wheel drive, $4,409 initial payment excludes tax, title, license, and $695 acquisition fee. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. N6324.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Jew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol, William Grant & Sons Inc., New York.
Now is the perfect time to replace your old boiler and water heater with a new Peerless Boiler and Pavilion Tankless Water Heater. Don't wait. Act now. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. 13:34 to go in the first period. Rangers and Panthers are scoreless. Any observations through the first 6.5, Dave?
Oh, good pace, frantic pace. I mean, Carolina, Florida is a team like Carolina. If given a choice, they're going to put the puck towards the net. And they have outshot the Rangers 3-2 here, but nothing on top of Igor Shesterkin. In the meantime, both teams have won a couple of face-offs here. We haven't had a lot of face-offs, so it's been a pretty fast-paced opening sequence here, Rangers-Panthers.
Goudreau versus Lundell. Looks like Lundell's going to get kicked out, so Connor Verhaeghe, who leads the team with 6 goals, will take the face-off just outside the Panthers' end. Rangers control it. Fox, center ice, tried to send it all the way down, but it's batted out of the air by Mikkola. Lundell passes cross ice, misses, and creates it offside, so we'll get a whistle.
And again, the Jimmy Vesey along the boards tries to advance it through the middle of the ice, and Mikkola has moved his way up. He was here as that kind of 6th guy in the Ranger rotation. I thought he was a really, really good acquisition last year for the Rangers, but of course the Rangers couldn't afford to pay him. And he moves on to Florida, and he's been a good player for the Florida Panthers.
The aforementioned Mikkola sends it down. Igor stops it in the trapezoid, up the near glass, held in by the chest of Lundell, sends it back where it came behind the net. Fox with Verhaeghe. Cleared back out to the near boards for Cooley. Can't clear because of Kachuk. Second whack sends it back out to center. Chopped along for Ryan Lindgren. Glove down by Vesey. Cooley scoops up in the near corner. Mikkola can't center, and then it's knocked out to the far boards where it's held in. Lindgren fires a shot that goes wide. Trocheck plays it at the near circle. Tried to avoid contact with Lundell, sends it back out to the point. Schneider's wrist shot knocked down by Kachuk, then a shot from the far boards. Deflects back behind the net. That shot taken by Vesey before he leaves the ice. Gustafsson with it, near boards, back out to the point. Schneider with a shot gloved out of the air by Bobrovsky, and he gets the whistle.
And again, a good job by Vinny Trocheck. He takes a hit from Bennett to hang in the play and gets it to the point to eventually Braden Schneider. Schneider, a long-distance snapper, grabbed out of the air by the guy they know was Bobrovsky, who really played his way back into that Vezina position that he won back-to-back years with Columbus in last year's playoff run. And it was Alex Lyon that carried the Panthers down the stretch.
Bennett versus Trocheck, controlled by the Panthers, slapped up the near boards, but it's held in by Trocheck. Goes through Panarin. Lafreniere behind the net, back up top for Trouba, back to Lafreniere. Loses the puck back out to center. He's got to gobble it back up at his own blue line. Miller will drag it back to his own end. Outlets it over to Lafreniere. Brings it into the zone. Cross-ice pass goes off a skate, allowing Bennett to skate up on a 1-on-2. Flips it into the corner. Play back at the far board, sharp angle shot, deflects right through the crease to Panarin, who uses the end boards to calm it down, and the Rangers will come up right to left. 8 minutes played here in the first period, scoreless. 5 shots, 3 belonging to the Panthers. So both teams will make a change.
Surprised it was 3-2 that Braden Schneider's shot wasn't counted as a shot on goal.
Bennett holds it in, but then loses the puck to Ryan Lindgren, back behind the net, backhand up to the far boards, chopped at by Roslovic and out, but he gets hit pretty hard by Ekman Larsson. Panthers will play it to the near boards with Kulikov and send the Panthers back up. Ekman Larsson backhands it over to Bennett, chops it all the way down. Shesterkin waits for it in the trapezoid. Swooping in, though, is Fox. Far boards and back out. Gobbled back up by Zibanejad, banged into by Luostarinen. Comes to the near wing where Ryan Lindgren will calm it down and both teams will change.
Yeah, we see again Ekman Larsson. This is a big, heavy team. Florida.
Beadle, nice move around Cousins. Makes another move to the near circle, but then loses the puck. And Lomberg will flip it back out to center. Waiting for it is Gustafsson at the near wing. Sends it out to Kakko. Kakko loses to Lomberg, who will bring it into the zone. Fights through a check of Kakko. Can't get a shot away thanks to Kakko, and then banged into the end boards by Kakko. Stenlund back out to the far boards, and Cousins fires a sharp angle shot that deflects wide. Lomberg up the near boards will get cut off there by Wenberg. Still not out of the zone as Stenlund comes into the corner. Loses the puck to Wenberg. Then Stenlund gets it back. Sends it back up top for Mikkola, whose shot goes way wide. Goes back out to Lomberg, and a save by the pad of Igor. Cousins back out to the point to Mikkola. Back to Cousins, who flips it back to Stenlund back behind the net. He's got Gustafson in his back pocket. Goes to the far corner. Taps back out to the far boards, back out to Montour. His shot gets knocked down by Kako. Gustafson will play it back behind the net, but it's stolen back away. Centering pass goes off a skate. Back out to the point. Montour chops at it. Goes to the near circle, trying to gobble it up as Kachuk. But he's knocked down, loses the puck, allowing Schneider to clear it back out. Montour then outlets it back out to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe taps it back out to Bennett. It's swooped away by Trouba, who fires it off the end boards. And then Lafreniere finds Panarin streaking down the near side. Waits for his mate. Stops. Leaves it back for Trocheck. Cross-ice pass to Lafreniere and a toe save by Bobrovsky. The rebound goes off of Forsling and wide. And then Forsling gobbles it up and sends it back down. Looking for Bennett, but the Rangers able to clear. Ekblad will then fire down.
Rangers get caught in a line change and turn that into a bit of magic.
Puck lost again, centering pass to Tarasenko, but it didn't get through thanks to the reach of Miller, but he draws a penalty.
No, it was a hook behind the net. Was Jacob Trouba puts the hook on Barkov, and it misplays the puck, and then there's an opportunity in front. So the first power play of the hockey game is going to belong to the Florida Panthers. This puck takes an odd bounce behind the net, right? And Miller does a nice job of getting out and impugning an attempt by Vladimir Tarasenko. So we're going to take a break here in an action-packed first period. New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Step inside an Infiniti QX60 and relax in uninterrupted comfort. Leave schedules, appointments, and meetings behind. That can definitely wait. Just turn on the available massage seats and unwind for just a little longer. Until you feel infinitely you. Discover more about the Infiniti QX60 crossover at InfinityUSA.com.
Tito's handmade vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. No matter who's on your roster, lineup, or lucky jersey, make Tito's your first round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Rangers hockey on ESPN New York is brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today. 9:34 to go in the first. We're scoreless. Jacob Trouba for hooking at 10:26. So the Panthers get the power play. They're clicking at 22%. That's 8th best in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Rangers kill is at 89.5, which is 2nd best in the postseason.
Face off to the right here as the Rangers find themselves at only 43% efficient here now at this point in the game in the face-offs.
Face-off control by the Panthers. Sharp angle shot by Reinhart, saved by Shesterkin. Out to Verhaeghe, back behind the net. Setting back up. Reinhart spins it out to the near boards for Kachuk. Kachuk at the hash marks, back down low. Barkov centering pass goes off a stick and out of zone.
Gone off of Adam Fox. Good position stick by the Rangers defenseman.
35-second minute, 35 to go as Bennett fires it around the boards. Played back into the corner by Barkov, back to Bennett, leaned on by Lindgren, pops into the air, glove down by Reinhart, back out to the point from Montour, fakes a shot, backs up to the blue line, he gets it back out to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe back to Montour, right point, left point now, shot by Montour, deflects wide, Kachuk on the backhand, back out to the far boards. Verhaeghe back to Montour, Montour straight away. Dangles the blue line, slings a shot that's knocked down, and Ryan Lindgren will backhand it all the way
That's
down.
three times that the third time that Adam Fox was in the right lane with the stick in the right position. This one sent it all the way down.
Minutes ago on the kill is Bennett. Crest of center ice will bring it into the zone by himself. Back out to the far wing. Tarasenko can't handle it. Zibanejad clears. Kachuk at his own blue line. Backhands it to Bennett. Back out to the far wing. Tarasenko leaves it for Ekman Larson. Ekman Larson drags it back in. Misses Tarasenko at the far wing, allowing Schneider. Takes it back behind the net. Up the far boards for Zibanejad. But dragged back to the corner. Centering pass intercepted by Kreider. And he sends it down.
Well, I tell you, the Rangers just do a wonderful job away from the puck on the penalty kill. Kreider in the right spot. Down it goes.
30 seconds now to go as Ekman Larson hits the red line. Will send it the length of the ice. Play to the near wing by Rodriguez. His centering pass kicks off a stick. Goes back out to Rodriguez again to the near circle. But the Rangers take it away and clear thanks to Ryan Lindgren. And then it's sent the rest of the way by Jimmy Vesey. 10 seconds. Panthers moving left to right. One last rush here with 5. Ekman Larson hits the red. Sends it back down. Goes to Ekblad at the near circle. Sharp angle shot saved by Shesterkin, and the Rangers clear. This looks like it'll be an icing because they had killed off the penalty. So it's 7:26 to go in the first. We're scoreless. The Rangers 1 for 1 on the kill.
Yeah, Igor Shesterkin again protects that short side. Ekblad, it's a big guy move down here, down low. He gets himself in a little better offensive position than the defending Wenberg, and that's a heck of a shot off the stick of the former number 1 overall pick, Aaron Ekblad, off the right side.
Did not play in that last regular season meeting in March here. Cousins gets knocked down by Trouba. Cousins slow to get up.
I think he's trying to draw one here. He got clipped, it looks like, holding his mouth, going to the bench.
So Trouba waits for the Rangers to finish up a change with 7:10 to go in a scoreless first period. Panthers coming off a power play. They lead in shots 6-3. Trouba still back behind his net. Rangers moving right to left here in period number 1. Sends it back out to the far wing. And the Rangers dangle the blue line and bring it back up as Schneider finds Gustafsson. Gustafsson passes back out to the blue line. Pass can't be handled by Trocheck. Panarin trying to bring it in, cut off by Ekblad. And then he sends it off the boards and down. Verhaeghe fights through a check of Gustafsson. Got it off by Schneider. Retreats back behind his net on his forehand. Will send the Rangers back out. Kachuk with a big hit. Loosening the puck up for Mikkola. As Trocheck took the hit, it's going to be Schneider back behind the net. Backhands to Trocheck at the wing, or can't clear it back out. It's going to be played back behind the net for Schneider. Schneider up the far boards, and now the Rangers can send it out to the point, but not out. Kachuk has it, passes back out to shot by Lindell. That's blocked down by Lafreniere and goes to the near corner. Rangers clear. Panarin finds Lafreniere, bats it out of the air, trying to collect his own pass. He has it, fires on a belly save by Bobrovsky, and he holds on.
Boy, how about that little ping pong magic, right? Coming in the offensive zone. This was just after Alexis Lafreniere, a little bit guilty of a sloppy play with the puck in the defensive zone, but boy, this thing boink, 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 and then on the net. And that forces Bobrovsky to make, his toughest save of the game. Just the Rangers' 4th shot, 6:12 left. Opening period, no score. Panthers-Rangers, Game 1, Eastern Conference Finals of the 23-24 NHL season.
If nothing else, creates an offensive face-off to the right of Bobrovsky. Rangers have one, a shade over 55% of the draws. Wenberg will take it versus Reinhart. Looks like Wenberg's going to get kicked out. And Philip Hedl now will take the draw. Hedl played in game number 4. Now back of the lineup for the Rangers. Wins the faceoff. Wenberg in the corner. He's got Kulikov to shake off. Back out to the point, but Miller can't hold it in. Now he's going to make sure it's not taken away by Barkov. Eventually Kulikov will send it back down, but the Rangers instantly clear, and will be played by Ekman Larson, who will send it down. Goes off a skate and down. There'll be no icing, so Trouba will tangle with Tarasenko and then sends it back out of the zone, where Kulikov will retreat in front of his own net to play. He's got Hedl in his face up the far boards. Chopped at by Tarasenko, who clears, and the Rangers possess back in their own zone with 5:40 to go in a scoreless first. Rangers will finish up a change as Ryan Lindgren will flip it high in the air into the near corner. Looking for Roslovic, cut off by Ekman Larson as they battle there to the right of Bobrovsky. Bennett there as well, slides to the near boards for Luosterainen, who's going to skate it out himself. Gets to the red line, pokes it down, avoids a big check from Roslovic. Played by Bennett to the side of his own net, will come out the far side and send it back out between the circles. Rangers intercept, but Ekblad eventually ends up with the puck and clears it back to center.
Actually, it was Lindgren that came careening through the middle of the ice, and he clipped Roslovic.
Played to Luosterainen. He's by himself as he brings it into the zone. Fires a shot, stick to side by Shesterkin. Goes to the far boards. Fished out by Rodriguez. Battles with Fox, all to the right of Igor. Lingering there as well, slides to the far boards, backhand by BC, can't get it back out of the zone, slides back to Rodriguez in the corner, gets to the edge of the trapezoid, still with it, centers back out to Lomberger's shot goes over the net. Montour sends it back behind the cage, but he got caught up in the corner, allowing the Rangers to clear with Ryan lingering and down. It'll deaden so the Rangers can make a change. Cousins trying to catch him at a change, but he misses Stenlund, goes all the way down for Gustafson, uses the far boards. Cooley is checked from behind, wipes out, but Barclay Goudreau gobbles it up, finds VC. VC can't get around Stenlund's stick check, who then takes it, fires it off the boards and back down. Schneider, front of his own net, 4:10 to go in a scoreless first. Gustafson outlets it off the stick of Cooley and out of play. So we'll get a whistle with 4:08 to go in the first period. Rangers and Panthers are scoreless here late in period number 1 of Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
The New York Rangers are back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's time to take the ice for playoff action with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. BetMGM has you covered with countless betting options for hockey, including same-game parlays, props, teasers, live bets, and so much more. With a new and improved app that makes betting faster and easier than ever. And special offers for Rangers fans, it's no wonder BetMGM is the king of all sportsbooks. If you love hard-hitting hockey action, you're going to love wagering at BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of the excitement as the Rangers return to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Light the lamp with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Rangers. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly, 21 plus years of age to wager, and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8788-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
Get more in the new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. More selection, over 750 new vehicles available, and more savings on their entire Mazda lineup. Like the new 2024 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive, lease for just $199 a month at Ramsey Mazda, Route 17 North in Ramsey. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. Excludes tax, title, and registration. Zero security deposit. VIN RM671606. MSRP $26,770 and $531.24.
Don LaGreca and Dave Maloney back here at Madison Square Garden. Game 1 Eastern Conference Final. Rangers-Panthers scoreless with 4:08 to go in period number 1.
Michael Delzato and Derek Brassard in the building here tonight, being introduced to the Ranger crowd on the big board that overhangs center ice at Madison Square Garden. Face off to the Panthers side of the red line, to our side of the building. Matthew Tkachuk with a big hit on Vincent Trocheck.
And Peter Laviolette just talked about how heavy this team is. Rangers win the face-off, but it goes all the way back down in their end, so Fox will play it into the near corner and send the Rangers back up here late in the first period. Spins it back to Lindgren, trying to avoid Tkachuk, falls down. Tkachuk then centers, get a great play by Verhaeghe, but the shot I don't believe went through and goes to the near corner.
Adam Fox kind of put his partner in an awkward spot.
Here comes Panarin near circle. Panarin makes a move, waits for his mates, can't get a shot or a pass away, and it's cleared to Verhaeghe, who gathers it back up and then sends it back out to center. Gobbled up by Forsling, brings it into the zone, leaves it back of the wing for Tkachuk, who fires the shot and scores. Matthew Tkachuk draws first blood in the game and the series, and Florida takes a 1-0 lead.
I talked about Forsling on the television side in the pregame show. His ability has been a late bloomer, and he was the best defenseman against the Bruins. He legs it through the middle of the ice and backs the defenders off, and now traffic funnels to the net, and I'm not sure this hits anything, but I think the traffic distracts the goaltender. It may have gone off the heel of Adam Fox's stick, but again, it's Forsling. Forsling picks it up, barrels through the middle of the ice, backs off the Ranger defenders, and just like that, Florida has a 1-0 lead on their 8th shot of the first period.
Well, time of the goal driven by Ramsey Mazda, 16:26 for Tkachuk. Time of the goal driven by Ramsey Mazda. It's the experience of driving a new Mazda and buying a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. As off the face-off at center ice, ends up in the bench for a whistle with 3:30 to go. So for Tkachuk, Dave, that will be goal number 5, point number 15 to lead the team, and Forsling will get the primary assist.
Yeah, the net cam just, Shesterkin just gloves a low. It just goes over his glove, and I don't think it hit Fox's stick. So Florida has a 1-0 lead here in the first period.
Roslovic looking for Zibanejad, but his pass goes off a stick. Mikkola will go back behind his own net, taps it over to Bennett, chops it back out to center. Roslovic back at his own blue line, leaves for Trouba. Captain to Kreider. Kreider sends it down, absorbs a hit from Mikkola. Back behind the net, Bobrovsky up the far wall for Tarasenko. Moves off the wall, can't clear thanks to Kreider, but a second whack gets it to Barkov, who finds Bennett. Bennett stood up by Trouba, allowing Miller to play it back in his own end. Panthers will make a change, so will the Rangers with under 3 to go in the period. Let's go Rangers chant as they're down in this one. Trouba, far boards, pass by Kakko, misses Hedl, so it'll be played by Kulikov up the near wall, but waiting for it is Luosterainen, who will skate to the red line. Passes back out to the far wing for Ekman Larsson, hits center red, and sends it the length of the ice. Gustafsson, Luosterainen trying to pass it, then finds Rodriguez, spins to his forehand at the far circle, fires a shot that deflects off the high glass. Kulikov leaves it back for Luosterainen. His shot is knocked down by Lindgren. Rangers coming. Here comes Braden Schneider on a partial breakaway. Now a full breakaway off the post. Kakko, far boards, will backhand it back behind the net.
Boy, what a move through the middle of the ice by Schneider to chip it through the open ice off the left post. We remain a 1-goal deficit from the Rangers standpoint.
As we approach 2 minutes to go in the period. 8-4. Panthers lead with shots. They've had the only power play. Pass goes off of Lafreniere's stick, allowing Ekman Larsson to send it all the way down. Goes back to the far boards. Rangers trying to clear it back out. Panarin spins to his forehand. Passes back out to Ryan Lindgren. The bouncing puck will get played off the wall by Lindgren, and he'll send an outlet pass that goes off of Forsling all the way back into the Rangers' end. Fox cross ice to Panarin. Panarin, the crest of center ice, hits the red line, flips it down, goes off of Ekblad, hits it with a high stick. Can't clear. Fox finds Panarin and a pad save by Bobrovsky. Panarin gets the rebound at the near wall. Slides a pass out to Lindgren at the near point. Through Fox out to the far boards. Skating to keep it in. Alexei Lafreniere cut off by Lindell, who clears it back out to the blue line for Montour, sends it back to center. But his pass intercepted by Zibanejad. Rangers in the midst of a change. Cross-ice pass. Roslovic fires a shot that goes wide after he played it off the wall. Miller dangles the blue line, passes. Kreider shot saved by Bobrovsky. Zibanejad centering pass intercepted by Lindell. Miller can't keep it in, so Trouba will play it to the far boards with under a minute to play. Hits center red and sends it down. Matthew Tkachuk trying to take it away from Zibanejad at the near circle. Lindell will backhand it out to center. Miller on his horse to go gather it up with 45 seconds. Miller outlets it all the way down. As it's knocked by the stick of Roslovic. He powders it back up at the near wing. Sends it back out the blue line where a shot by Gustafsson is knocked back down by Bennett. Bennett finds Tarasenko at the far boards, who fires a shot wide. Bennett, sharp angle shot, goes off the side of the net.
It's Reinhart through the middle of the ice, and then the shot towards the net is stopped by Igor Shesterkin. As we get down to the dying seconds here, 26 seconds, we take another look at the opportunity by Braden Schneider. He has Bobrovsky dead to rights at that post to the rescue for the Florida netminder.
Thank you, Gabe. I got my Sams confused. Bennett and Reinhart.
Too many Sams, like Dr. Seuss. Too many Sams.
Sam, I am. No green eggs and ham. Face off to the right of Igor Shesterkin with 25 seconds to go. Rangers win it. Miller back behind his net, near wing. Passes back out to Barclay Goodrow. Goodrow sends it back into the zone. VC with a move, loses the puck, allowing Reinhart to clear it back out to center. Miller chops at it. Cooley on his horse will bring it in front of the net. Flip back out to center with 7 seconds to go. Glove down by Forsling. Helped along by Barkov, and down as he's hit hard by Cooley. And that'll do it for the period. And the Florida Panthers will take a 1-0 lead into the dressing room.
Yeah, big hit on Barkov by Cooley as both teams head to their respective benches. And one goal that was really created by, open ice once again in the middle of the ice. We talked about early in the game where Ekblad caught 3 Rangers deep, and there was room through the middle of the ice, right? Nothing happened there, but Forsling takes charge, backs off the Ranger defenders, drops it to Tkachuk, and the Panthers exit the first 20 minutes with a 1-0 lead, Donnie.
So the Rangers finish with 5 shots on goal to the Panthers' 9. Rangers committed the only penalty. So they give you an indication, looking at the way the first period's played, that they're going to maybe let some things go here?
No, I mean, it was good physical play. Yeah. I didn't think anything crossed the line. I mean, the crowd the crowd had an issue with Mikkola hitting Zibanejad, but he just pinched down hard. Tkachuk with a hard check on Vinny Trocheck. No, I thought it was a well-officiated game, well-played game, and just like to see the Rangers with a little more. It's not like they were pinned in their end.
No.
And, it's a 1-0 deficit after one. Like to see maybe a little more presence in the offensive zone, but you know what? You're one of 4 teams still standing. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, Cousins tried to sell that hit on Trouba, too, and they didn't bite. So that's your first period. Rangers trail the Panthers by the score of 1-0. Dan Grosso will take you through the first intermission, recap the period, and then we'll drop the puck for period number 2 here at Madison Square Garden, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Matthew Tkachuk draws first blood. Panthers 1, Rangers 0. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer Sales event when Dave, the sales guy, asks, want to test drive the Rogue? And I'm like, let's go. We're driving when Dave says, check out the VC turbo engine. I hit the gas and whoosh. I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Dave goes, if you think that's cool, watch this. Dave shows me the miles per gallon and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty impressive fuel economy. Dave mentions, these new cars are going fast. And in that moment, I had to have that Rogue. Crazy, right?
Wait till you hear how I got my Sentra. Now get a low $269 per month lease for 36 months on Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. Well-qualified lessees, 2024 Rogue S all-wheel drive, $4,409 initial payment excludes tax, title, license, and $695 acquisition fee. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. N6324.
Grand Marnier takes cocktails from ordinary to unforgettable, adding a layer of sophistication to some of the world's most well-loved drinks, including the margarita. The Espolón Grand Margarita is a classic cocktail that pairs sour lime with earthy Espolón tequila notes, adding Grand Marnier's cognac and bitter orange liqueur flavor for a refined smoothness. Visit grandmarnier.com to learn how to take cocktails from ordinary to extraordinary and live grand. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2024, Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style. Always drink responsibly.
Ranger fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there is only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel have the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been serving New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premier customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate traveling experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call 212-206-6974.
This is your local Tri-Honda dealer's New York Rangers Intermission Report. Now, here's Dan Grossa on the MSG Radio Network.
And it's time for this first intermission report brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today. Dan Grossa with you, 20 minutes in the books at Madison Square Garden, and it is the Florida Panthers who have jumped out to a 1-0 lead at the end of one over the New York Rangers. And this Rangers top shelf performance brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Matthew Tkachuk, the only goal in the opening 20, his fifth of these playoffs at 16:25 of that first period from Gustav Forsling and Carter Verhaeghe. And Tkachuk snapping a 5-game goalless drought. He now has 39 points in the postseason if you add up the last 2 years, but not to lose hope if you're a Ranger fan, because out of the 8 wins that the Blue Shirts have already achieved so far in these playoffs, 4 times the opponent has scored first. And, of course, the Rangers as good a come-from-behind team as there is in the entire National Hockey League this season. So Tkachuk getting the only goal for the Florida Panthers. Rangers penalty killers had to go to work in that first period. The only penalty called in the opening 20 was on Jacob Trouba. He got called for hooking at 10:26, but the Ranger PK was able to kill off the shorthanded situation. Igor Shesterkin had to make a couple of saves. Rangers a little sloppy with a line change. Resulted in a nice chance for the Florida Panthers about midway through the opening frame, but Shesterkin stood tall and was able to keep the puck out of the net. Shots on goal in that opening period, 9-5 in favor of the Florida Panthers. So the Rangers will look to see if they can generate some more chances moving forward in this hockey game. Had a real good chance in the last couple of minutes, as a matter of fact. Braden Schneider, the defenseman, on a breakaway, but ended up clanking iron as he tried to beat Sergei Bobrovsky. And that was was the Rangers' top shelf performance, brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka on game day. Pour me in, coach. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. We got more to do here on the Tri-Honda Dealers New York Rangers Intermission Report. We come back. We'll hear from the head coach, Peter Laviolette. We'll also check out some of the news and notes happening around the rest of the National Hockey League, and we'll get you ready for period number 2. It's the Panthers who have a 1-0 lead on the Rangers at the end of one period of play, and New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout.
Hey, New Yorkers, tonight's hockey is presented by Heineken Silver. New Heineken Silver is a world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and just 95 calories. Choosing a light beer usually means sacrificing on taste or quality, but with Heineken Silver, say goodbye to compromise. Heineken Silver has all the taste with no bitter endings. So this spring and throughout the playoffs, grab a surprisingly crisp and refreshing Heineken Silver. Taste the difference. Available at your local Heineken retailer or for delivery at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
I love a beautiful, healthy lawn. That's why I use True Green. They take the hassle out of fertilizing, aerating, and controlling weeds plus mosquitoes. All you have to do is water and mow. Give yourself time back to do what you want. And to top it off, sign up by May 28th and save an average of $200 when you bundle lawn care and mosquitoes. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price, guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
The Honda you want is here. Now's the perfect time to drive in the moment with the rugged and capable Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot. Find your adventure with great offers now available on the Honda you want. And when you're driving a Honda, you're driving the brand named Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value Brand for 2023.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Attention hockey fans, let's talk winning off the ice. ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge infusion therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. At ThriveWell, patients receive care, comfort, convenience, and compassion so they can get back to cheering for their favorite teams. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites along with breakaway treatment from their highly trained medical team. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives drip by drip.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the National Hockey League, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear, with unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics, Adidas, and all the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
Last call. Last call, last call, last call. Hey, New York, this is Michelle Scalisi from Security Dodge. Come get a last call. And right now, you can take up to $10,000 off MSRP on our like new Chargers and Challengers. Plus, they have a huge selection of Scat Packs, Swingers, Shakedowns, Demons, King Daytonas, Hellcats, TRXs. Do you want to roar? Shop 24/7 at SecurityDodge.com during our Memorial Day sales event.
Dan Grasso back of the Tri-Honda Dealers New York Rangers Intermission Report. 1-0 Panthers over the Rangers at the end of 20 minutes of play. Let us pause 10 seconds. Allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Rangers hockey. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN FM, New York.
Don't forget to stick with MSG for all things pre- and post-game coverage throughout the Eastern Conference Final. For every game the Rangers play, you can watch on MSG or stream it for free on MSG Plus with an eligible TV subscription. No other games on the out-of-town scoreboard tonight In the National Hockey League, the Western Conference Final gets underway tomorrow, coming up in Dallas as the Stars will play host to the Edmonton Oilers. Now, during the regular season, Dallas won 2 of the 3 head-to-head matchups. Edmonton got to the conference final by defeating the Vancouver Canucks in 7 games, and the Oilers feature the #1 power play and penalty kill thus far in the playoffs. Dallas, on the other hand, defeated Colorado in 6 games in round number 2, and they are now in the last 4 of the NHL for the 3rd time in the last 5 years. Coaching news off the ice today. The New Jersey Devils, according to reports, hiring former Maple Leafs bench boss Sheldon Keefe to be their new head coach. So the New York Rangers find themselves back in a conference final, 2nd time in the last 3 years, and they've had a handful of days to sit and rest up and wait for the series to get underway by virtue of them extinguishing the Carolina Hurricanes back on Thursday night. And at practice the other day, head coach Peter Laviolette discussed the prospect of making a conference final.
When you start the season and you set goals on what it is that you want to accomplish as a group and things that you talk about along the way, you then have to go out and play the season, and just getting through the gamut of the 82 games can be tough, and not everybody makes it. A lot of teams, a lot of dreams are crushed right there. So to actually make it and to move forward round by round and get to this point, there's been a lot of work that goes into that. That being said, we also understand that the hardest work is yet to come, and starting in this round. And so I think our guys are ready for that challenge. To answer your question, I don't think we're looking backwards in a rearview mirror with a big smile on our face. I think that the toughest work is in front of us, and we've got to be ready for it.
And, of course, it's well documented that it's been 30 years since this franchise hoisted the Stanley Cup, and the coach was asked if that's something that he carries with him now as the one responsible for the on-ice product.
I think I might be somewhat aware of it. You know, having not been here, Larry, I can only tell you like the story of what's gone on this year, what we've seen this year from this group, right? But understanding a little bit of that history, and I'm pretty honest about what I see in a game, and I thought we played a really good game in Game 4, a little bit loose in the first period. We were way off the mark in Game 5, and at that point, maybe what you're saying can sneak in or slide in, and that was what, in my opinion, what was really probably one of the biggest points tonight, is that when our back was up against the wall going into the 3rd period, the players in that room delivered against a really good hockey team, and we were able to find ourselves to be able to score goals and now move on to the conference finals.
It's always important to find that balance as well as you're on a long season followed by what you would hope to be a long playoff journey. The coach was asked, how do you keep things light while still focusing on your goals?
I think my staff's been unbelievable. You see them out on the ice. They take charge so many times and so often, and they help bring that to the table as well. I think that there's got to be a buy-in from the players. You know, you can have thoughts going into a practice on how you want it to be. I've often found that if you feel like it's work, well, then you're coming to work. And if you feel like you're coming to the rink to have fun and compete and enjoy what you do, then that's oftentimes what you do and not necessarily considered work. And I think our guys have bought into that. They enjoy competing against each other. They enjoy the speed and the pace and going head-to-head against each other. And it shows out on the ice. And I also think that by doing that, it's translated into the games. And so they say that you play how you practice. And I think our guys have had a pretty good reflection of that on a daily basis. They brought what they do here, and they bring it into the games.
And that is the head coach, Peter Laviolette. Time now for this date in Rangers history. May 22nd, 2015. Henrik Lundqvist stopping 38 shots at a 5-1 Ranger win over the Lightning at Amalie Arena in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final to even that series up at 2 games apiece. Rick Nash had 2 goals and an assist. It's now time for What's on Tap for the second period. It is brought to you by New Heineken Silver. So the Rangers see if they could generate a few more chances. Only 5 shots on goal in that opening period. They're 3-1 so far in these playoffs when trailing after 1 period of play. Florida, on the other hand, 3-0 when leading after 1 period. And if you want to extend it even further, the Panthers are 7-0 when they lead or are tied after 2 periods of play. So something to bear in mind as this next 20 minutes starts to unfold. And that was What's on Tap, brought to you by New Heineken Silver, world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. Heineken has all the taste with no bitter endings. Available at your local Heineken retailer or for delivery at Heineken.com/silver. And this has been the First Intermission Report, brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today. I will talk to you again during the second intermission, but coming up next, it'll be Don LaGreca and Dave Maloney. They'll have period 2 for you. It's the Panthers on top of the Rangers by a score of 1-0. And you're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This has been your local Tri-Honda dealers New York Rangers Intermission Report. Blue Shirts Hockey is next.
Step inside an Infiniti QX60 and relax in uninterrupted comfort. Leave schedules, appointments, and meetings behind. That can definitely wait. Just turn on the available massage seats and unwind for just a little longer. Until you feel infinitely you. Discover more about the Infiniti QX60 crossover at InfinityUSA.com.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Attention hockey fans, let's talk winning off the ice. ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge infusion therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. At ThriveWell, patients receive care, comfort, convenience, and compassion so they can get back to cheering for their favorite teams. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites along with breakaway treatment from their highly trained medical team. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives drip by drip.
Don LaGreca and Dave Maloney back here at Madison Square Garden, about ready to start the second period. Rangers trail the Panthers 1-0 here in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. The Rangers will defend radio left here for the second period. And the second period puck drop is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
Well, once again, the second period at home here for the Rangers. Skate left to right. Take a look at the chances in that first period. 22-18 favored the Florida Panthers. 7-7 were the face-off results. So both teams at 50% efficient on the face-offs. And again, you take a peek at the goal, and it looks like Shesterkin just missed it.
Yeah.
I don't think it went off of Fox's stick. There may have been a little bit of distracting traffic, and you'd like to see the Rangers spend just a little more concerted time, concentrated time, extended time in the Panther end of the ice.
Rangers 33 come from behind victories, 28 in the regular season, 5 in the postseason. That is tied for the most in NHL history with the 06 Hurricanes and the 84 Oilers, and both of those teams won Stanley Cups. So the Rangers will have to try to do it again here as Zibanejad wins the faceoff. We're underway here in the second. Thanks for joining us here on a Wednesday night from Madison Square Garden. Don LaGreca, Dave Maloney. Reinhart loses to Roslovic. Couldn't get a shot away. Zibanejad in the far corner up the wall. Held in at the point by Miller. Miller slings a shot on save. Rebound by Zibanejad. Kicks wide. And Reinhart will flip it back out to center. Glove down by Miller. Backhands it over to Trouba between the circles. And the Rangers will escape the zone. Zibanejad. Roslovic skating down right wing. Tried to send it all the way down, but intercepted by Verhaeghe, who finds Barkov. Barkov to Tkachuk. Tkachuk taken away by Zibanejad, who pokes it back behind the net. Lindgren comes out the other side. Up the wall on his forehand, sends it back out to Roslovic. Gets it back out. Here comes the Rangers, and Cooley with a shot and a pad save by Bobrovsky on the breakaway.
What a pass by Roslovic. Two breakaway chances for the Rangers. One post, one save.
Cooley from the feed from Vesey will send it down, trying to chase after his own pass. Cut up by Montour up the far wall. Cooley cuts it off. Lindgren back out between the circles. Gobbled back up and sent down by the Panthers. This will go all the way down for an icing, and a faceoff will come back down to Bobrovsky with 18:47 to go in the second period. 1-0 Florida.
Yeah, Bobrovsky will defend a defensive zone faceoff. What a pass by Roslovic. just flipped it right onto the stick of Cooley, and Cooley tried a hesitant kind of toe drag. Had to kind of control the puck, and you know what? Mikkola may have distracted him a little bit, got the stick just in on the stick, took a little mustard off the shot.
Panarin fires it out to the point for Hagee, though, takes it and he leaves it for Lindell. Lindell, cross-ice pass goes up top and misses, and that allows Lafreniere with some room at left wing. Here comes Alexei Lafreniere trying to pass out to Bobrovsky, but it's passed out to Panarin, but it's cut off by Bobrovsky. It goes to the far boards.
It was a good save. It was a great deflection, great pass.
Goes back out to the point, can't be held in by Schneider, who drags it back to the blue line, hits the red line, and rips it around the wall. Cut off by Rodriguez, back out to Ekman Larson, who clears back to center. Gustafsson on his forehand, streaks in, leaves it back into the far wing for Kakko. Risks the shot that's sticked aside by Bobrovsky, goes up the far wall, lifts it around, and his backhand can't clear. Panarin tries to hold it in, but it cuts back out to the logo where Rodriguez leaves it for Bennett. Bennett fires a shot and a chest save by Shesterkin, and he holds on.
Now, it looks like we've got Panarin out in Heedle's spot. Looks like Heedle is on the bench. We'll check the numbers. Bench looks full down there. And there's Heedle. Heedle's on the ice now. Yep. Panarin had taken a partial shift. Face off to the left of Igor Shesterkin.
Stenlund will take the offensive faceoff and wins it. Kulikov far board, spins around Heedle into the corner, and then backhands it back behind the net. Cooley couldn't reach it. Kakko chops at it to the point, held in by Stenlund with his backhand, and sends it back behind the cage where Shesterkin waits for it. Schneider, near corner, absorbs a check from Lundberg and then sends the Rangers back out. Trying to clear it, held in by the Panthers. Lundberg between the circles, fires a shot wide. Kulikov trying to gobble up the rebound.
Great payback hit by Schneider on Lundberg.
Schneider near boards, can't clear as it's held in by Forsling. Drops it back off for Stenlund at the far circle, rips a shot that deflects off of Wenberg and goes to Kakko, back to Wenberg to Heedle. Heedle hits the red line and will send it down so the Rangers can make a change. Bobrovsky for Forsling. Rangers finish up the change, and now the Panthers will come up. 3 minutes played here in the second period. 1-0 Panthers with a lead. Reinhardt center pass goes off as Zibanejad and back out to center, so Ekblad just sends it down. Near boards Roslovic on his backhand, back behind the cage to Trouba, off the wall to Miller. Swooping in, though, is Barkov to take it and leaves it back behind the cage again. Trouba will try the near side to clear around Forsling and then sends it down. Kreider trying to reach for it, pops up into the air. Reinhardt gathers it up, loses to Roslovic. Zibanejad pokes it onto the backhand of Kreider, and he'll send it the length of the ice. Ekblad back behind his own net, will come up the near side, drops it off for Forsling, who assisted on the only goal in the game. Back out to Reinhardt in the near circle, rips the shot, shoulder saved by Shesterkin, drops into his glove, and he gets the whistle.
Well, I'll tell you, Reinhardt has a wonderful set of hands. This guy certainly came into his own offensively with 52 goals on the season. But boy, he can kill penalties, plays the power play, 5-on-5 player. It'll be interesting to see what happens. You know, he's up for contract, right? He's an unrestricted free agent. And if I'm him, I'd just maybe take a hometown discount. You're staying in Florida.
Yeah. Good team.
Good team.
Up to the corner. Kachuk trying to get around Zibanejad, climbs the far wall on his forehand, back out to the Pine Montour. Back to Lindell, edge of the trapezoid corner. Kachuk swoops in for support. Back behind the net, Lindell. Zibanejad takes it away, he's going to come up the near side. Flips it high into the air. Bounces between the legs of Gaudreau, allowing Montour to clear it back out to center. Panthers have it. Here comes Mikkola lumbering, leaves it back out to Verhaeghe, fires a shot wide. Kachuk waits for it to the far boards, back to Montour, dangles the blue line, rips a shot deflected wide. Gobbled up by Fox in the near corner, up the wall to VC. VC backhands it out to Gaudreau, crosses the red line, but he's cut off by Ekman Larson. Leaves it back for Kachuk, who sends it down. Gustafsson sends a centering pass, goes off a stick, didn't get to Cooley. Panthers try to transition, but the Rangers still clear. And it'll settle back down to the Rangers' end for Ryan Lindgren, who's going to back up in front of his goal and send the Rangers left to right. Fox off the wall to Cooley, can't play it for Hagee. Plays to the red line, but it goes off a skate. Scramble for possession, won by Fox, who sends it back down looking for Lafreniere. Cut off by Ekman Larson, and now the Panthers come up with Bennett at the right wing. Bennett crosses the blue line, stops, waits for his mates, creeps up to the circle, rips a shot, goes wide, bounces around, scooped up by Shesterkin, who will dust pail into his glove and get the whistle.
Really, the difference in this hockey game so far is the 6 Florida defenders. You know, they're big and strong and mobile, and they've really controlled the neutral zone on any sort of transition game from the Rangers. Now, the Rangers have had 2 opportunities in open ice. A good move by Schneider in the first period, a brilliant pass by Roslovic here in the second period, but by and large, Florida defenders have done a nice job in the neutral zone.
Stenlund wins the faceoff, but it's the Rangers who possess with Hedel. Pinned to the far boards. Cousins puts it back behind the net. Swooping in is Wenberg, trying to shake loose of Stenton. And the Rangers will outlet it out. Hedel can't control the pass as he's going to tangle with Forsling. Hedel wins the battle, gets it out to Kakko. Leads it back out to the point for a shot by Gustafsson that goes wide. And Cousins will settle it down and flip it back out to center. Glove down by Schneider.
Really good offensive zone entry by Philip Hedel, creating the turnover.
Panthers possess it with Stenlund at the far wing. At his own blue line, flips it into the air. Waiting for it to come down is Gustafsson. Settles it down, passes back out to Braden Schneider. Schneider to Kakko. Kakko tried to feather a pass through Forsling. Doesn't get to its destination, but Kakko gets it back. Passes out to Hedel. Hedel over to Trocheck, but he broke his stick on the shot, and it'll be settled down by Bobrovsky at the side of the net.
Yeah, that shot. That was not much of a shot. That stick was broken before his release, and forced an offensive zone face-off, though. The Rangers have been a little more lively in the offensive zone here in the second period. Face-off will be to the right of Sergei Bobrovsky, who really exploded when he played for Columbus. He and Artemi Panarin are really good pals. Panarin's the godfather of the child of Bobrovsky's.
Trocheck possesses at the corner after the face-off. He's got Reinhardt on top of him. Lafreniere backhanded to the point. Miller dangles the blue line, slides it past to Trouba. His distant shot paddled away by Bobrovsky. Lafreniere back to Trocheck, goes through him, allowing Reinhardt to clear. To Barkov. Barkov hits center red, leaves it back for Tarasenko. Tarasenko back behind the net for Barkov. Barkov slides a pass out to Reinhardt, couldn't control it. He gets knocked down by Trouba. And Trocheck will send the Rangers back out, but the pass goes off a stick back out to center. Miller at the blue line, passes back out to Panarin. Panarin, cross-ice pass to Lafreniere, rips a shot over the net. Panarin, near circle, settled it down. Centering pass, no one home. Lafreniere plays it at the far boards. Settled back down to Panarin, drops it back off for Lafreniere. Lafreniere at the near circle for Trouba. His shot gets knocked down by the stick of Kachuk, but Trouba gets it back. Back behind the net, Zibanejad. Sharp angle goes off the side of the net. Zibanejad back up top. Lafreniere with a blast, and it's deflected wide off the stick of Zibanejad. Played by Miller. Miller back up top for Panarin. He's tilting a bit. Panarin's shot goes off of Tarasenko. Swooping in is Roslovic at the near corner, trying to shake loose of Lindell. Mikula cuts off a pass to Zibanejad near boards and clears it out.
Yeah, good effort, good presence in the offensive zone for the Rangers here in the second period.
12:40 to go in the middle frame. Still 1-0. Sent all the way down by Kreider. Bobrovsky back behind the net. Bennett passes that to Litzerainen. Drops it back off for Rodriguez in the near circle. Out to Bennett with a blast. It goes wide. Kulikov can't keep it in at the far board, so Ekman Larson on his horse to go get it back in his own end. VC on top of him, so he drops it off for Kulikov. Kulikov back to Ekman Larson.
There'll be
Goes
a penalty
through
here
him
in
down.
the Rangers, I think, on Roslovic.
There's an icing on the play, but let's hear the penalty.
Going to be a high stick, I believe. Boy, this is a soft one. Oh, my goodness.
Penalty 96, high stick.
Let's take a look here. Roslovic does a nice job of coming in, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, they missed that one.
That's a high stick.
Now his stick was high, but
it never made contact.
Never made contact. Let's see another angle. Yeah, it might have got him in the side of the face. Might have. Well, when we come back, Rangers will have to go on their second kill as they trail 1-0 here in the second period. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Get more in the new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. More selection, over 750 new vehicles available, and more savings on their entire Mazda lineup. Lease a new 2024 Mazda CX-5 2.5S Select all-wheel drive, just $239 a month at Ramsey Mazda. Route 17 North in Ramsey. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. Excludes tax, title, and registration. Zero security deposit. VIN R0408749. MSRP $31,245. Ends 5/31/24.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Experience the sophisticated taste of the best single malt whiskey in the world, the Macallan, founded in 1824. The Macallan is renowned worldwide for its extraordinary single malt whiskeys. Their outstanding quality and distinctive character reveal the uncompromised excellence they pursue. Whether your taste is sherry, oak, or double cask, the Macallan single malt whiskey is for you. Pick up the Macallan today at your nearest liquor store. The Macallan, the single malt whiskey against which all others must be judged. Crafted without compromise. Please savor the Macallan responsibly.
Now is the perfect time to replace your old boiler or water heater with a new Peerless Boiler and Pavilion tankless water heater. Don't wait, act now. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. 12:17 to go in the second. Panthers with a 1-0 lead. They'll go on their second power play as Roslovic gets called for a high stick at 7:43.
I don't know, pretty soft call. I mean, you made the observation, Donnie, that they're kind of letting it go or calling it tight, or not quite sure how they're calling it. There's really hasn't been any egregious plays that would warrant the officials. I don't know, that's a fairly soft call from my observations, folks. Had nothing to do with the play.
So the Panthers go on their second power play. They're 0 for 1. Barkov versus Zibanejad. Face-off won by the Panthers. Montour slides a pass to Kachuk, who puts it back behind the net for Barkov. Barkov leaned on by Lindgren, chopped at by Reinhardt. Zibanejad with it finds Kreider, and the Rangers come up on a 2-on-2. Here comes Zibanejad flying down the far side, drops it back off for Kreider, and he broke his stick on the shot. And now Reinhardt will try to take advantage as Kreider gets a new stick. Barkov brings it in the high slot, passes back out to the far wing. Kachuk's shot goes wide as it goes to the near boards. Out to the point, held in by Montour with the backhand, but Trouba's there to fire it all the way down.
Yeah, nice job by Trouba supporting Zibanejad in the right position. That's what we talked about that first penalty kill, Don, is the support away from the puck.
Kachuk couldn't get it to Montour, kicks back to Barkov, who will try to bring it in. Leaves it back for Reinhardt. Reinhardt back to Barkov, but it goes through him, allowing Barclay Goudreau to try the far side to clear, but it's held in by Kachuk. Passes back out to Reinhardt, but a good stick knocked it back all the way down.
Yeah, Vinny Trocheck with that stick right in on Reinhardt. Down it goes.
Under a minute to go on this power play. Panthers trying to add to their lead. Montour drops it back off for Bennett. Bennett brings across the blue between the circles. He'll fire a shot that gets knocked down, trickles on net, and it's gloved down by Shesterkin, and he gets the whistle with 46 to go on the Rangers' kill.
Yeah, shot blocked by Jacob Trouba. Trouba, two really good defensive plays here on this penalty kill. Away from the puck, supporting Zibanejad early, and a blocked attempt here by Sam Bennett. Bennett, the guy that plays on the edge. For certain, face off to the left. Missed 5 games between the Islander series and the Boston series. Back in the lineup.
Lindell with the offensive face-off, scramble for possession, kicks back out straight away to Tarasenko. Passes back out to Ekman Larson, who will dangle the blue line, keeps it in, rips a shot that deflects wide. As Lindell was parked back in front of the net, he scoops it up at the far corner and then sends a pass to the near boards for Tarasenko. Sends it back to the corner, cut off by Trouba, finds Facey, who backhands it down with 20 seconds to go on the kill.
Right, another great job by the Rangers captain, Jacob Trouba, along the boards.
With 15 seconds, here comes Ekman Larson. Passes in stride to Bennett. Backhands it over to Tarasenko, looking for Bennett, but it's picked off by Zibanejad, and he clears, and that pretty much will do it with 5 seconds to go.
Now the Ranger penalty kill continues to be a real strength of their hockey club here in the playoffs.
Bennett in transition, goes to the far circle on his forehand, rips a shot that's gloved down by Shesterkin, and he gets the whistle with 10:10 to go in the middle frame, 1-0 Florida.
Yes. Stenlin gets knocked over just off the left of Igor Shesterkin by Eric Gustafsson. Rangers did a really good job, obviously, on that penalty kill once again. Just 3 goals against in the playoffs coming into tonight's action. 2 for 2 tonight. A 1-0 hockey game remains a 1-0 Florida lead.
Face off to the left of Shesterkin. Rangers.
Actually, I'm sorry, it's 4 power play goals they've given up.
2 in each series.
Right.
Came in at 89.5%. Panthers went on the faceoff. They won 60% of them. Kulikov puts it back behind the net for Shesterkin. Backhands it to the near boards. Trocheck can't clear, so he sends it a little deeper. Rangers can't get it out of the zone, but on a second whack by Gustafsson, now the Rangers can come back up. Pass goes through the stick of Barclay Goodrow. He catches up with it at the near boards and then backhands it all the way down so he can finish up a change. Panthers moving right to left. Kulikov can't clear, tries again, and now on the second effort, the Panthers can come up with Forsling. His pass is intercepted by Lafreniere, who spins it back into his own end for Schneider. Braden Schneider. Pass goes off the skate of Ryan Lindgren, but Schneider able to bail it out, get to the far boards, and clear to center.
That's his partner, Gustafsson, right?
Gustafsson passes back out to Schneider. Schneider will send it down, goes off the end boards to the side of the net. Swooping in is Kulikov off the near glass. It goes out of play. It did touch the glass. So 9:16 remaining in the second period. Panthers 0 for 2 on the power play, but they have a 1-0 lead on the Rangers midway through period number 2. New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Step inside an Infiniti QX60 and relax in uninterrupted comfort. Leave schedules, appointments, and meetings behind. That can definitely wait. Just turn on the available massage seats and unwind for just a little longer. Until you feel infinitely you. Discover more about the Infiniti QX60 crossover at InfinityUSA.com.
Tito's handmade vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. No matter who's on your roster, lineup, or lucky jersey, make Tito's your first round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Rangers hockey on ESPN New York is brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today. 9:16 to go in the second period, Dave. Rangers still trail the Panthers 1-0.
Yeah, one little stat here as we move along that seems to jump out is the Rangers have been charged with 8 giveaways, although they've been credited with 5 takeaways, so -3 on that as Henrik Lundqvist is recognized by the crowd, sitting in the VIP area of Madison Square Garden.
Panthers win the face-off and clear it back to center. Tarasenko leaves it back for Reinhart. Will send it length of the ice, trying to get his own pass. Rangers get there first. Miller pins it to the end boards with Reinhart. Tarasenko's there. Trouba there. Barkov as well. Moves up the near boards for Forsling. Sends it back into the corner for Barkov, leaned on by Trocheck. A pair of 16s going at it. Barkov on his backhand spins to his forehand, trying to shake loose of Trocheck. Loses the puck, goes up the near boards, but Tarasenko's there for support. Back behind the net goes Tarasenko. Panarin cuts that off, leaves it back for Trocheck, who puts it to the side of the net for Miller. Trouba near wing, and now the Rangers can finally bring it out. Outlet off the stick of Lafreniere to avoid the icing and sends it down. Lindell back behind the net. Hard pass over to Verhaeghe, and here come the Panthers. Verhaeghe hits the red line, risks it all the way down, spins to the far boards. Lindgren with Tkachuk. both battle. Kachuk wins the battle, passes over to Lindell, but a good job by Fox to knock it away. Pass to Lindell goes through him off the end boards. Climbs the near wall back into the corner for Kachuk. Kachuk, the goal scorer, loses thanks to being pestered by Ryan Lindgren, and it goes back down. Roslovic trying to fight through Mikkola, and they're going to whistle this down on an offside, and play will come back outside the zone.
Really nifty play with the Rangers to dodge, some offensive zone pressure, moving the puck against the grain, and it looks like Kachuk is having some words with Adam Fox. Probably a couple of guys that we'll be seeing as teammates when the USA puts their team together for the Four Nations Cup in the fall, I would think.
It should be a lot of fun. We got a chance back in 2016, Dave, to work the World Cup of Hockey together for ESPN Radio. Here's Listerainen trying to get around Roslovic, dangles the blue line, backhands it to Rodriguez, goes through him. Bennett, edge of the trapezoid, fights, passes back out to Listerainen, whose shot is deflected out of play. And we'll get a whistle with 7:40 to go in the middle frame, still 1-0 Florida.
Yeah, that's a good job by Wenberg, right? Wenberg in the right position here. Now, Roslovic looks like he's taken a shift with Wenberg and Cockle. The Rangers opt to bring Hedel now out with Kreider and Zibanejad. So a little bit of a flip-flop looking. The Rangers were just 9 shots on goal here, right? Being outshot 6-4 here in this second period.
Scrum off possession. Bennett, Kulikov, his blast is gloved out of the air by Shesterkin. Wanted to drop it and get play going, but the whistle blows, and we'll have another offensive face-off for Florida.
The Panthers just slowly but surely gaining more traction off the face-off. 61% efficient after a first period that saw each team at 50%. So it's been a more dominant center face-off battle here by the Panthers. Face-off to the left of Igor Shesterkin.
Face-off again, won by the Panthers. Tarasenko, far boards. Can't get around Miller's stick check, and it goes to the near boards. Hedel trying to bat it back out, goes to the point. Forsling, a shot and a belly save by Shesterkin, and he gets the whistle.
Again, Igor Shesterkin tracking that puck. He looks it right into his midsection as Forsling again. We talk about him, a late bloomer, right? He'll be 28 in June. And a guy that was a 5th-round pick of Vancouver, but boy, he certainly found a home here in Florida.
Barkov wins this one clean. Forsling near wing, fires a shot that deflects off of Barkov and just goes wide. Momentum will take it back out of the zone. Reinhart leaves it for Barkov, finds Tarasenko. He's alone. Trouba leans on him at the far boards. Reinhart, corner, Miller all over him to the left of Shesterkin. Centering pass misses Barkov and leaves the zone. So Forsling on his horse to get it when there's 7 minutes to play in the middle frame. The Panthers Kachuk goal in the first period, the only offense so far here in game 1. Stenlund can't get around Fox, goes back out of the zone. Here comes Lafreniere streaking down the right side. He's got Mikkola, gets around him. His backhand goes way wide as Mikkola was right on top of him. Lingering into the corner for Lafreniere, comes out, leaves it back for Panarin. Panarin up the far boards. Artemi Panarin leaves for Lindgren with a blast that goes wide. Fox gobbles up the near circle. Leaned on by Lumber. Stenlund back to Mikkola behind the net. Up the far boards. Ryan Lindgren cuts it off, drags it into the corner. Centering pass goes between the circles, tapped back out to Fox from Lafreniere. Fox with a shot deflected wide off the stick of Ryan Lindgren, and Mikkola is going to backhand it back down. Will this be an icing? They wave it off at the last second. Fox bumped into Lumberg. They go at each other in the near corner to the right of Shesterkin. Cousins up the far boards looking for Kulikov, who holds it at the far point. Sends it back to Cousins in the corner. Cousins, centering pass goes through Lindell, allowing Panarin to play it. Rangers on a 3-on-3. Panarin, cross-ice pass played off the wall by Barclay Goodrow. Can't get it much deeper, and that allows Lindell to send it back out to center and down. Schneider for Gustafsson negotiates a broken stick. Cross-ice pass to Vesey, but it goes through him. Lindell cuts it off and drags it into the near corner. Left to the near boards for Verhaeghe. Cleared back down. It'll hit the broken stick, allowing Gustafsson to play to the far wall. Sends it back out. Vesey at the blue line is going to flip it down back behind Bobrovsky. First to get there is Ekman Larsson to Ekblad up the far wall for Barkov. And here come the Panthers. Cross-ice pass misses. Tkachuk goes down, but Verhaeghe's on his horse, gobbles it up, taps it back out to Tkachuk. Tkachuk with a sharp angle shot knocked down by Schneider. Tkachuk drags it up the near wall, then leaves it back for Ekblad. Ekblad spins at the hash mark, still with it in the near wall, and then taps it back into the corner. Gustafsson battles with Verhaeghe, all to the right of Shesterkin. Centering pass to Tkachuk, backhand Barkov, and a glove save by Shesterkin. Barkov up back out to the point. All Florida here, Ekblad back behind the net for Barkov. Barkov settles it down, surveys the landscape, comes out the far side, drags it to the far corner, up the wall, passes back out the Forsling with a blast that goes wide. Off the end boards, Verhaeghe tries to stuff it far side, but the Rangers able to clear.
Boy, I'll tell you, Igor Shesterkin has come to the rescue here as Florida's just a bigger and stronger team here for the better part of 35 minutes.
Forsling finds Tarasenko, leaves for Reinhart. Barkov back behind the net. As it's cut off, the Rangers trying to clear it back out with Trouba. Miller swoops in at the far boards and flips it high in the air into center ice. Roslovic can't gather it, so Montour will play it to center red and then send it the length of the ice with 4:10 to go in the second. Bennett with Miller. There's Reinhart. Miller's able to bat it out of the air to the far boards for Cooley, and now the Rangers can come up on a 3-on-3. Will Cooley, nice move at center ice to shake loose. Here's Wenberg back to Cooley, but it misses. Kulikov and Cooley get into it in the near corner and a hit, but Kulikov comes out with it, finds Bennett, who clears the center. And it's going to be an icing on the Panthers with 3:45 to go as the faceoff will come back down to Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah, so that'll allow the Rangers to rejigger with fresh troops. It looks like the Trocheck line will come out. And, Florida, again, we talk about Carolina being, a team that comes at you hard. I'll tell you, that Florida comes at you hard with some skill.
Yeah.
And the Rangers just can't seem to get anything going. They're under pressure in a lot of the areas of the ice.
Trocheck face-off win. Here's Fox. Sharp angle shot. Bobrovsky with a save. He jumps on the rebound just outside the crease to get the whistle.
Yeah, it's a good job by Lafreniere to get himself in position here to off the face-off win, one of the few that the Rangers have had. That thing kind of bounced off of the left arm of Bobrovsky as Lafreniere did a good job getting to the net. You're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Grand Marnier takes cocktails from ordinary to unforgettable, adding a layer of sophistication to some of the world's most well-loved drinks, including the margarita. The Espolòn Grand Margarita is a classic cocktail that pairs sour lime with earthy Espolòn tequila notes, adding Grand Marnier's cognac and bitter orange liqueur flavor for a refined smoothness. Visit grandmarnier.com to learn how to take cocktails from ordinary to extraordinary and live grand. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2024, Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style, always drink responsibly.
The New York Rangers are back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's time to take the ice for playoff action with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. BetMGM has you covered with countless betting options for hockey, including same-game parlays, props, teasers, live bets, and so much more. With a new and improved app that makes betting faster and easier than ever. And special offers for Rangers fans. It's no wonder BetMGM is the king of all sportsbooks. If you love hard-hitting hockey action, you're going to love wagering at BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of the excitement as the Rangers return to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Light the lamp with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Rangers. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly, 21 plus years of age to wager, and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8788-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
This out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Best Trails and Travel. Only one other game. It's tomorrow. That Western Conference Final will start from Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. That's the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Visit them today for the ultimate travel experience at besttrailstravel.com. 3:40 to go in the second period. Dave, Panthers with a 1-0 lead. That shot by Fox broke up a string of 14 minutes and 25 seconds between shots for the Rangers here in the second. They now have 10. Trouba sends it through Kreider, and it's an icing on the Rangers, and the faceoff will come back down to Igor.
Well, the Rangers continue to move bodies around here. It looks like Panarin now out with Kreider and Zibanejad, just looking for a little more offensive spark, right? And to your point, 14-plus minutes without a shot on goal. And it's not like Florida is overwhelming the shot clock either with 17.
Won the faceoff. Barkov, Mikkola over to Reinhart, but it's intercepted by Miller, and the Rangers now have a 3-on-2. Miller, Panarin, pass to Panarin. Those knocked down by Barkov. Panarin plays it at the far boards. Can't center thanks to Mikkola. Miller keeps it alive. Passes through Kreider back behind the net. Tarasenko tangles with Zibanejad. Kreider fishes it out of the near corner. Climbs the near boards. Trying to get it over to Trouba. Finds Zibanejad. His behind-the-back pass is knocked away by the stick of Tarasenko. And that allows Mikkola to find Barkov, and the Panthers come up. Barkov back out to the corner. Reinhart leaned on by Miller. 2:45 to go in the second. Still 1-0 Panthers. Verhaeghe is able to grab it up the far boards. Zibanejad's all over him as it's stuck to the far boards. Lindell gets it back out to the point. Forsling with a shot on, and Igor makes the save of the pad, and he gobbles up the rebound.
Yeah, Verhaeghe sniffing around that advanced shot off the stick of Forsling. And Igor Shesterkin, being Igor Shesterkin here, stopping the flow at just 1. 2:32 left in the middle period. Looks like Barclay Goodrow coming out with Kakko and Jimmy Vesey. So the Rangers looking for some offensive spark. Just got to get this crowd back into the game here.
Lindell wins it clean. Forsling shot goes wide from the near point. Vesey able to knock it back out of the zone. Race for the puck between Kakko and Forsling. Forsling gets there first, back behind the net, near side. Almost taken away by Fox, but it'll be played by Lindell. Brings it in to the blue line and sends it down for Shesterkin. Leaves it into the far corner. Verhaeghe tangles with Lindgren. Verhaeghe on his backhand. Now his forehand at the hash mark. Creeps up to the dot. His shot hit a Ranger. And he's in distress. Barclay Goodrow. He's able to get back up. He's got no stick.
He gave it to Lindgren.
And it goes back out to Tkachuk, who backhands it into the near corner. Panthers trying to take advantage. Here's Verhaeghe. Centering pass looking for Lindell, but good job by Ryan Lindgren to lean on Lindell, and then eventually it is extinguished with the glove of Igor Shesterkin.
Yeah, what happened is Lindgren lost his stick. Goodrow passed his stick to Lindgren, and then Goodrow took a puck in the inside of the leg on a shot block without a stick. And the Panthers throw another shot towards Igor Shesterkin. 1:51 left in the middle period. The good news is it's still just a one-shot deficit from a Rangers standpoint. Got to find a way, though, to spend a little more time in the offensive zone.
And try to win some faceoffs.
Right. That would help, right?
34% of them. They do win this one. And Schneider will pitchfork it back out to center ice, where Ekman Larson passes too far for Rodriguez, and that's going to create an icing. So the Rangers will get an offensive draw here with 1:42 to go in the second period. See if they can't get something going offensively.
Well, you're right. That was the most poignant thing, right, is to win possession off the draw. And they just have not been very good here in the second period. Florida 63.6% efficient.
Trocheck versus Luosterainen. Won by the Rangers, goes back out to the point. Backhanded by Lindgren to Panarin. Centering pass knocked by Kulikov. Panarin gets it back between the circles. Here's Fox with a shot. It's knocked down in front. Gobbled back up by the Panthers and Kulikov.
It's going to be a penalty. I think it's going to be a holding. Adam Fox gets tied up, and it is going to be a holding on Florida. The Rangers get possession of the faceoff, try to get the puck to the net, and it's going to be Ekman Larson.
Florida number 9, minor penalty holding.
Oh, Bennett, I'm sorry.
So 18:34 is the holding penalty on Bennett. Rangers go on their first power
holding
play.
The stick, right? I knew it was a hold, but as Bennett grabs a hold of Adam Fox's stick, so the Rangers congregate here. Now, this Florida penalty kill is pretty good. And the Rangers need to possession and be quick with the puck.
Rangers power plays third best in the NHL at 31%. Got off to a terrific start against Carolina, then went 0 for 8 for snapping that streak. This power play has always been what got the Rangers going during the year. We'll see if it does it tonight. Face-off to the left of Bobrovsky. They win the face-off. Rangers straight away. Fox with a shot. It goes off a Kreider. Zibanejad far boards, backhands it behind the net, but waiting for it is Forsling. He'll clear up the near glass and down.
Yeah, that's a rim around where you just hope that Mika would just hold on to the puck, maintain possession. You won the draw.
Fox to Panarin. Panarin across the crest of center ice to the blue line. Goes off a stick. Regathers at the near boards for Trocheck, who fires into a vacant far corner. Stenlund the first to get there. Finds Luosterainen, goes off of his skate, allowing Zibanejad a cross-ice pass to the red line and Panarin. Panarin sends it back to Fox, drops it back off for Zibanejad. Zibanejad passes to himself, pokes it in the zone, but Stenlund's there waiting for it, and he sends it down.
Yeah, it's those big bodies on the blue line. You get Stenlund and Luosterainen. Long reaches, big physical presence.
Panarin across the red line, brings it into the zone at the right wing. Wraps it around the wall again. Sent back down to Panarin. 24 seconds to go in the period. Kreider centers back out to Trocheck. Back up top for Fox. Sets up Zibanejad, but his blast is knocked down by Barkov. Taps it back to Fox, but Barkov gets it back. He's looking for a pass to Reinhart, but it's knocked away by Zibanejad. 10 seconds to go in the period. There will be carryover as Fox brings it back in, leaves for Panarin, dangles the blue line between the circles, finds Fox. Fox cross ice, Zibanejad, and a diving save by Bobrovsky. And that'll do it for the period. There'll be 34 seconds of power play time for the Rangers to start the third. But Florida will take a 1-0 lead into the room.
Boy, that was the best look. I'll tell you, that's Bobrovsky now again. I'm not sure that he made a save. We'll take another look here as Zibanejad, that goes off the side of the net. As Bobrovsky, a little bit late to the party, but the shot misfired off the stick of Mika Zibanejad. And the Rangers now continue to trail the Panthers here. First period goal by Tkachuk, and that's all that's on the board. Rangers outshot 18-12 after two periods. Trail 1-0.
Did a little bit better with the face-offs late. End up being 60-40 in favor of Florida through 40 minutes. And the Rangers will have 34 seconds of power play time to start the third. Well, Dan Grassa is going to take you through the second intermission. Then we'll drop the puck for the third here in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Rangers and the Panthers. Florida leads the best-of-7 series 1-0. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Ranger fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there is only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel have the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been serving New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premier customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate traveling experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call 212-206-6974.
Step inside an Infiniti QX60 and relax in uninterrupted comfort. Leave schedules, appointments, and meetings behind. That can definitely wait. Just turn on the available massage seats and unwind for just a little longer. Until you feel infinitely you. Discover more about the Infiniti QX60 crossover at InfinityUSA.com.
Experience the sophisticated taste of the best single malt whiskey in the world, the Macallan, founded in 1824. The Macallan is renowned worldwide for its extraordinary single malt whiskeys. Their outstanding quality and distinctive character reveal the uncompromised excellence they pursue. Whether your taste is sherry, oak, or double cask, the Macallan single malt whiskey is for you. Pick up the Macallan today at your nearest liquor store. The Macallan, the single malt whiskey against which all others must be judged. Crafted without compromise. Please savor the Macallan responsibly.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
This is the Spectrum New York Rangers Intermission Report. Now, here's Dan Grassa on the MSG Radio Network.
And this Rangers Second Intermission Report is brought to you by Spectrum. Dan Grassa with you. 2 periods now in the books at Madison Square Garden, and the score remains exactly the same as it was after 20 minutes. It's the Panthers on top of the New York Rangers by a score of 1-0. Matthew Tkachuk's first period goal at 16:25 of the opening period from Gustav Forsling and Carter Verhaeghe, the only goal thus far in the hockey game. And the Rangers, maybe towards the end of that second period, getting a few more opportunities, and they were in danger, as a matter of fact, of equaling their season low in shots on goal through 2 periods of a hockey game. Right now, they have equaled that, as a matter of fact, because the season low was 11, and that's what the Rangers are at right now. Only 11 shots on goal through the first 2 periods of this hockey game, 5 in the first, 6 in the second. And it seems a little odd because, at least to begin period number 2, the Rangers came out with a real nice spurt. Will Cooley had a breakaway opportunity that was stopped by Sergei Bobrovsky in the opening minute of the period, but the Rangers generated about 4 shots on goal in the first few minutes of period number 2, and that almost equaled their entire shot output in the opening period, which was just 5 minutes. And they'll have some carryover power play time to begin period number 3, as Sam Bennett was called for holding at 18:34 of that second period, holding the stick of Adam Fox. That's the Rangers' first power play chance of the entire night. So when we begin period number 3, the Rangers will have about 34 seconds there of power play time to see if they can even the score in a 1-0 deficit. Mentioned it back on the pregame show that if we ever found ourselves in this exact situation, the odds would certainly swing in Florida's favor. The Panthers so far in these playoffs, when they have a lead or they're tied at the end of 2 periods of play, they are a perfect 7-0, and they find themselves in that situation now, heading into the final 20 minutes of regulation. Shots on goal in that second period were 9-6 in favor of the Florida Panthers. No goals, of course, but the Rangers will have those 34 seconds of power play time to carry over into period number 3. Now stick with MSG for all things pre- and post-game coverage throughout the Eastern Conference Final. For every game the Rangers play, you can watch it on MSG or stream it for free on MSG Plus with an eligible TV subscription. Still more for us to do here on the Rangers Second Intermission Report, brought to you by Spectrum. We come back, we'll check out the news and notes around the National Hockey League. You'll also hear us from Peter Laviolette and Chris Kreider as well, as the Panthers have themselves a 1-0 lead. After 2 periods of play, it's Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. And New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout.
You're ready for a perfect summer on the lawn. But wait, there are weeds, brown spots, and mosquitoes everywhere. It's time to call True Green. Get the best deal of the year and save over $200 when you bundle annual lawn care and mosquito plans. So all you have to do is water and mow. Hurry, offer ends May 28th. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price. Guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
Attention hockey fans, let's talk winning off the ice. ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge infusion therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. At ThriveWell, patients receive care, comfort, convenience, and compassion so they can get back to cheering for their favorite teams. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites along with breakaway treatment from their highly trained medical team. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives drip by drip.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Last call! Last call, last call, last call. Hey, New York, this is Michelle Scalisi from Security Dodge. Come get a last call! And right now, you can take up to $10,000 off MSRP on our like-new Chargers and Challengers. Plus, they have a huge selection of Scat Packs, Swingers, Shakedowns, Demons, King Daytonas, Hellcats, TRXs. Do you want to roar? Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during our Memorial Day sales event.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Dan Crossa back on the Spectrum Rangers second intermission report. It's 1-0 Panthers at the end of 2 over the New York Rangers. Matthew Tkachuk, the only goal in tonight's game, back in the first period, 16:25 from Gustav Forsling and Carter Verhaeghe. Before we proceed any further, though, let's pause 10 seconds and allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Rangers hockey. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN FM, New York.
No other games on the out-of-town scoreboard tonight in the National Hockey League, but tomorrow evening is Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. It'll be in Dallas as the Stars welcome in the Edmonton Oilers. Dallas took 2 of 3 during the head-to-head portion of the regular season schedule. Oilers defeating the Vancouver Canucks in Game number 7 of Round 2 to advance to the conference final. And the Oilers have had the number 1 power play and penalty kill so far in these playoffs. Dallas, on the other hand, got by the Colorado Avalanche in 6 games. This is their 3rd time in the last 5 years that they are one of the final 4 teams still standing for Lord Stanley. Meantime, off the ice, the New Jersey Devils, according to several reports, have settled on Sheldon Keefe as their new head coach. Spent the last 4+ seasons at the helm of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So the Rangers will also have 34 seconds of power play time carrying over to start the 3rd period, as Sam Bennett serving a holding penalty for holding the stick of Adam Fox. Meantime, earlier today, following the morning skate, Peter Laviolette met the media, as is per custom, and he was asked about the significance of opening this Eastern Conference Final at the world's most famous arena.
I think, I say this about players sometimes. I think you grow to appreciate Madison Square Garden, the history of the New York Rangers, the fan base. I think you grow to appreciate that more when you're in it and you're living it every day. You see how special it is. You see the passion in the fans, which is unbelievable. The passion in this fan base is incredible. The building, the history that goes behind this team is pretty special. So to be here at this point is, it's a great thing for all of us.
The Rangers already, of course, have 10 games under their belt in this postseason. They swept the Washington Capitals in round number 1, a 6-game hard-fought series against the Carolina Hurricanes in round number 2. So the coach was asked, as you advance further into these playoffs, does the pressure build up or does it somehow dwindle a little bit the further you go?
There's definitely a hype that goes. There's no question, getting out of the first round, I always think is the challenge, the 16, just get to the 8, be part of the 8. And from there, and then you've got to win a series. And now that you've gotten here, it kind of moves down a little bit from there. But I think there's always a little bit of pressure, when you get in and you're in part of that 16, you want to get out of that first round. It changes a little bit, magnifies, ramps up a little bit. I think everybody feels that. But like I said, at the end of the day, that puck is going to drop tonight shortly after 8 o'clock, and we got to go out and make sure that we're playing and doing the things that we want to do. And that gives us the best chance of being successful. So whatever you're feeling, you got to kind of push that off to the side and just focus on the game and what you want to bring to the table.
And being that this is the penultimate round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, any sort of butterflies or nerves, Coach, heading into this one tonight?
Not really. I mean, there's an excitement that goes with it. I think you get a little bit anxious at times, but not to the point where like you're not calm. You can't think or you can't do things. The player's probably the same way. I do think that there's a feeling that we're ready. We've had time off here and getting healthy and getting a chance to rest and getting a chance to look at Florida. Now, granted, they had the same thing, so that kind of makes it even, but I think you can grab some confidence from that and the work that you put in the entire year, certainly recently in the last few days, to go into a game tonight. You feel like you're ready to go, and now we got to drop the puck. I'm sure everybody's going to be happy when we just drop the puck at 8 o'clock or just shortly after 8 o'clock tonight, just to start playing this series and get it going. I'm sure Florida's thinking the same thing, like let's play. It's been a long time since we've had that game since Carolina, and they've had a few days as well, and lots of practices, lots of meetings. They're probably sick of the meetings, and they just want to drop that puck and play.
Well, Chris Kreider certainly is no stranger to deep playoff runs. He's been part of several of them so far during his time on Broadway. And Chris was asked what the mindset is and how if it's different in any way from the last time the Blue Shirts found themselves in the conference final just 2 years ago.
It's really different. I think just the context, the situation. I know there's some of the personnel is the same, but a lot of it's different too. I mean, each year is a different group, a different kind of web of interpersonal relationships, and kind of entirely independent of the year prior. But I think just the place we're at as a team. I mean, I think going into this round a couple years ago, we were kind of running on fumes. Two very emotional series kind of coming from behind, and obviously it was a fantastic experience. Really left it all out there, but I think we feel like there's a whole other level to what we can do this year.
That was Chris Kreider, and this is What's on Tap for the third period, brought to you by New Heineken Silver. Even through 2 periods, still a lot of the feeling out process, as you would expect from two teams that haven't seen a lot of each other, and that certainly disappears the longer this series goes. With just 3 penalties total in the first 2 periods, the Rangers will indeed have 34 seconds of power play time, carrying over to start period number 3. Rangers getting outshot in the first 2 periods, 18-11 by the Florida Panthers. And as we told you, Florida so far this year in the playoffs, a perfect 7-0 when leading or tied at the end of 2 periods of play. That was What's on Tap, brought to you by New Heineken Silver, world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. Heineken has all the taste with no bitter endings. Available at your local Heineken retailer or for delivery at Heineken.com/silver. And this was the Rangers' second intermission report, brought to you by Spectrum. Get Spectrum One, fast and reliable internet for $39.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi, free unlimited mobile line, both free for 12 months. Restrictions apply. Visit Spectrum.com for details. I will talk to you again. The end of the third period coming up next. Don LaGreca, Dave Maloney. They have that third for you with the Rangers trailing the Florida Panthers by a score of 1-0. And you're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This has been the Spectrum New York Rangers Intermission Report. Blue Shirts Hockey is next.
Tito's handmade vodka on game day? Pour me in, coach. From a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch, root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. No matter who's on your roster, lineup, or lucky jersey, make Tito's your first round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Step inside an Infiniti QX60 and relax in uninterrupted comfort. Leave schedules, appointments, and meetings behind. That can definitely wait. Just turn on the available massage seats and unwind for just a little longer. Until you feel infinitely you. Discover more about the Infiniti QX60 crossover at InfinityUSA.com.
Ranger fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there is only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel have the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been serving New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premier customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate traveling experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call 212-206-6974.
Don LaGreca and Dave Maloney back here at Madison Square Garden. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Panthers still with a 1-0 lead on the Rangers as we start the third. And the third period puck drop is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Rangers will defend radio right here for period number 3 and still have 34 seconds left on their first power play.
Right, again, a good opportunity right on the bell as Mika Zibanejad at a one-timer goes off the side of the net. You question whether Bobrovsky would have been there or not. It goes for naught as the puck went on the wrong side of the netting. In the meantime, the Rangers were just 7 of 21 in faceoffs in that middle period. So they find themselves at only 40% efficient. So the Rangers got to, again, much like the first period, Donnie, find a way to just penetrate a really solid, stellar defending exhibition by this Florida Panther team.
Rangers scoreless through 40 minutes for the first time since the April 1st game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Face-off, center ice, Zibanejad versus Barkov, and it's Reinhart who comes out with it and then sends it down where Panarin will start the Rangers power play as it still has some time left on it, 23 seconds. Zibanejad finds Kreider streaking down the near side. Kreider back behind the net. Trocheck wraps it around the wall, waiting for it is Fox, but he can't hold it in. He's got to go back and get it with 10 seconds to go on the Panthers' kill.
Again, Chris Kreider goes in. It looks like he's got a lane to the net, and he opts to rim it around the boards.
With 3 seconds, Fox finds Trocheck, but it's cleared by Forsling. Bennett out of the box, so the Rangers 0 for 1 on the power play, and it stays 1-0 40 seconds into the third. Igor leaves for Miller. Miller back out to Fox. Fox back behind the net, up the far wall, misses Hedel. Rangers missed of a change. Kako, nice pass to Lafreniere, but it misses Laffy, and that's going to allow Montour to clear it out. Miller to Trouba. Trouba up the far boards. Goes through Hedel. They say he didn't touch it, so an icing on the Rangers a minute in.
Yeah, it didn't look like that puck changed any direction at all, so this will come all the way back in. And again, Chris Kreider, of course, the superhero of Game 6 against Carolina, enters the offensive zone here. When you only have 12 shots on goal, and I think you should err on the side of getting it to the net.
Yeah. Things seem to happen when you do that.
Right.
Of course, the Rangers had a 14-minute and 25-second stretch in the second in which they did not have a shot. Ekman-Larsson straight away, backhands it into the corner. Miller the first to get there, sends it over to Trouba. Far boards, but not out. Ekman-Larsson holds it in, fires a shot that's paddled aside by Igor. Trouba near wall to Kako and then back out. Ekman-Larsson sends it back down. Shesterkin in the trapezoid. Leaves it back for Trouba. And the Rangers now can bring it up. Play to the near wing, flip back out to center and down. Misses Vesey, so he played by Ekman-Larsson. Lutzerainen will send it center ice to Bennett, but taken away by Cooley. Finds Vesey to Barclay Goodrow back behind the net. Forces it, edge of the trapezoid, slides it back over to Fox. Fox back up top. Vesey fires it off the end boards. Bennett first to get there, but can't clear it around Lindgren. Lutzerainen will play it back behind the net, leaves it back for Ekman-Larsson at the far wing, and then flips it back out to center. Fox will play it back at his own blue line. Sends it back out to Vesey at left wing. Creeps up to the near circle. Hash mark centers to Barclay Goodrow. Couldn't handle the pass. And Rodriguez will force it to the far boards as it looked like Tarasenko and Fox collided. Ryan Lindgren goes back behind the net, pestered by Barkov. Spins to the corner, up the wall. Rangers still not out as Tarasenko lays a hit and leaves it to the near wing. Racing for the puck is Panarin trying to get there, but Reinhart's the first to get there and sends it back behind the net. Tarasenko cuts it off at the far boards, finds Barkov at the corner. Behind the glass to the near wing. Panarin trying to clear it around Reinhart. Reinhart has it. Centering pass goes out to Tarasenko and a pad save by Shesterkin. Mikkola back to Barkov, back behind the net. Barkov from room at the near circle. Gets it back up top. Mikkola with a shot that deflects wide. Goes back into the corner. Verhaeghe loses to Trocheck, who leaves it back for Fox. Now the Rangers will move right to left. Approaching 3 minutes played. Outlet pass goes to Panarin. Can't handle it. Plays it off the near wall. Stops, waits for his mate, spins to his forehand, instead fires a shot saved by Bobrovsky. The puck is loose in front of Bobrovsky. Gets the glove on it, gets the whistle.
Well, there's a good example. I mean, at Panarin, there's really no other option, so why not throw it at the net? It forces Bobrovsky to kind of fight to make the save. And the puck comes off the Florida netminder, so the Rangers just don't have a lot of room to make a lot of things happen. And I think if you turn away from a shot in this game, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Rangers' first shot of the period, 3 minutes in. Face-off lost by Zibanejad and cleared back out. Reached for by Gustafsson, but it'll be an icing on the Panthers, and the face-off will come back to Bobrovsky. Rangers winning only 37% of the face-offs.
I mentioned that second period, they were overwhelmed with, again, just 7 face-off wins. So when you're having a tough time getting the puck, that time when you have an equal chance to get it, and you're only 30% efficient, it makes for a long night.
Zibanejad wins this one. Kreider to Fox. Fox corner. Sharp angle pass goes off of Ekblad. Goes back behind the net. Goes to the near wing of Tkachuk, who scores the only goal of this game. And he pitchforks it back out. Looking for Lindell. Slides back behind Igor Shesterkin. Roslovic the first to get there at the corner. Looking for Lindgren, but it ends up on the stick of Tkachuk. Ekblad gets it back down low. Verhaeghe spins and shoots, and it's belly saved by Igor, and he holds on.
Well, I'll tell you, Matthew Tkachuk is a wonderful passer. He does a lot of things really well, but boy, he moves the puck tape to tape. He sets this up by getting it back to the point, and the Rangers are on, again, the hunt. Control. Verhaeghe's a natural goal scorer. He spins around on his forehand. That's the thing. Over the course of the regular season, Tkachuk has been basically invisible against the Rangers, but he does have the goal here tonight, but the thing that's impressed me is how well he moves the puck in the offensive zone.
Face off to the right of Shesterkin. Luosterainen's going to get kicked out of the dot, so Rodriguez will face off against Zibanejad. Rangers under 39 percentile, but they win this face-off. Schneider far boards up the wall, looking for Hedl, goes through him. Kulikov clears. Play by Kulikov again, back in his own end, sends it down. Schneider passes to Gustafsson. Gustafsson forehand to Panarin. Panarin slaps it to the far wall where the Panthers clear. Schneider gets it again. Rangers will try again, moving right to left. Gustafsson passes back out to Hedl, but it's poked away by the reach of Luosterainen, and it's dropped off to Hedl. Hedl will send it down, goes awkwardly off the stanchion, but Mikkel is there in front of the net, can't clear, goes off of Panarin, gets it back, and he's going to lumber out of the zone himself, hit the red line, and send it down. Shesterkin will play in the trapezoid. 15:45 remaining in regulation. Panthers still with a 1-0 lead. Rangers getting outshot 20-13. Hedl backhands it all the way down. Bobrovsky plays it in the trapezoid, backhands it to Montour. He's got Panarin to deal with. VC back behind the net, back up top, played by Trouba. His shot blocked by Lundberg, and it'll be played by Stenlund. Lundberg chopped back out. Miller beats Cousins to the puck, spins at his own blue line, across center red, then loses on a pickpocket from Cousins near circle. Cousins backhand, saved by Shesterkin, rebounds juicy, but a good job by Miller to beat Stenlund to the puck, and the Rangers will skate up with VC. VC to the red line, will send it down. Bobrovsky will play it back in the trapezoid. Nearly 5 minutes played here in the third. Still 1-0 Panthers. VC keeps, hops over Wenberg. Wenberg chases for it, pokes it back to the near boards, and spins on his forehand. Looking for Cooley back behind the net, but it misses. Trouba leaves it back for VC, backhands it deeper, but it's picked off, and up will come Trocheck. His pass over to Reinhart goes off of his stick, so Miller will play it back in his own end.
Rangers just have no room. I mean, Florida is there. None of the passes, Rangers' speed, having just a difficult time creating space.
Lafreniere sends it down with his backhand. Ekman Larsson back behind his net. Up the right wing, back out to center. Ranger fans trying to get things going with a Let's Go Ranger chant. As we approach 15 left. Cross ice pass intercepted by Tkachuk. Chopped out by Ryan Lindgren. Lafreniere flips it high in the air, back behind the net. Ekman Larsson plays in the trapezoid off the far glass through Fox and down. So Ryan Lindgren will go back to his own end to get it. Pestered there by Verhaeghe, who took it away with a slap and a save by Igor. Zibanejad centering pass, it picked off by Bennett. Bennett brings it in, makes a move in the slot between the circles, finds Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a move, backhand goes wide as Lindgren got his stick in the way, and the puck goes out of play.
Well, I think during that sequence, what we've seen from Florida is just they are so quick to the puck, so quick to the cutting off the lanes. and have done a nice job here of really eliminating any offensive threat for this New York Ranger team, but it's still a one-shot deficit for the Rangers. New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Grand Marnier takes cocktails from ordinary to unforgettable, adding a layer of sophistication to some of the world's most well-loved drinks, including the margarita. The Espolón Grand Margarita is a classic cocktail that pairs sour lime with earthy Espolón tequila notes, adding Grand Marnier's cognac and bitter orange liqueur flavor for a refined smoothness. Visit grandmarnier.com to learn how to take cocktails from ordinary to extraordinary and live grand. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2024, Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style, always drink responsibly.
The Honda you want is here. Get a great offer on the stylish HR-V or the Honda Civic, which Car and Driver called fun to drive. There's never been a better time to drive in the moment with Honda, the brand named Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value Brand for 2023.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details. Car and Driver, January 2023, based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
To win the cup, everything needs to line up perfectly. No different than finding the person you want to marry. When the time comes to propose, do what I did. Visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers. They'll make shopping for a ring easy. Let them help you pick or design the perfect ring to fit any budget from their 2 by London collection. London Jewelers is committed to getting it just right. So visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the newest location at the mall at Short Hills. Mention I told you to stop by and you'll get the Michael K treatment.
Now is the perfect time to replace your old boiler and water heater with a new Peerless Boiler and Pavilion tankless water heater. Don't wait, act now. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers. 13:47 to go in regulation. Panthers still with that 1-0 lead here in Game 1.
Face off to the left of Igor Shesterkin. Go back to the first period, late, and in the later stages of the first period, goal by Tkachuk, and that's all that's beaten the Ranger netminder.
Wenberg versus Rodriguez. And the Rangers control this faceoff. Flipped back to center by Gustafsson. Deadens for Montour. Clears to the point, but not out. Here comes Gustafsson. Momentum sends it to the wing. And a shot and a save by Bobrovsky off the stick of Kakko. Here comes Rodriguez off the far wall and out.
Yeah, that's a heck of a save. But again, Bobrovsky has time to move.
Like to see Gustafsson take that shot?
Yeah, absolutely. Get it to the net, because basically you're eliminating anybody that's gone to the net, right? By making that cross-ice pass.
Kakko back in his own end for Gustafsson. Passes back out to Schneider. Across the red line, off the glass and down. Wenberg near circle, tangles with Forsling, but it slides back out of the zone, so the Rangers have to get reset. 7 minutes played here in the third period. Rangers down a goal as Trouba hits the red line, sends it down. Cut off by Ekblad. Swooping in is Roslovic. Back behind the net. Cut off by Barkov. Comes out the far side. Pestered by Zibanejad. Held in by Trouba. Trouba slings it around the wall. Goes off the glass. Zibanejad slaps at it to the trapezoid. Cut off by Reinhart. Reinhart battles with Zibanejad. Barkov off the wall. Back to Reinhart, who skates to the red line and feathers it back into the Rangers' end. Glove down by Zibanejad. Recoils back into his own end. But it's held in by Barkov. Leaves it back to Reinhart. Reinhardt's got Zibanejad to contend with. The Rangers able to clear it through Kulikov and down. And this will be an icing on the Rangers, and the faceoff will come back down to Shesterkin with 12:20 left in regulation. Still 1-0 Florida.
Yeah, again, pretty good shift, right? You're in the offensive zone. Got possession. Just missing that last kind of quarter step, 3 feet. To make a play that's really going to threaten the Florida netminder. Face off to the right of Igor Shesterkin.
As you said, Dave, it just takes one.
Yeah, exactly. It's a one-shot game here, Don.
Still plenty of time here in the third. Face off to the right of Igor, Zibanejad, and Lindell. Rangers win it. Trouba corner, up the wall and down. So this is going to be another icing. Now with 12:12 left.
Yeah, we'll come all the way back. The Rangers will try and regroup, get possession. Again, you got the Rangers fivesome is a little bit of an extended shift here, although the 2 face-offs gives you a bit of a chance to regroup and regas the tank.
False start on the face-off, so Lindell's going to get kicked out. Verhaeghe will take the draw versus Zibanejad. Again, won by Zibanejad clean. Now the Rangers have to try to escape. Trouba to Miller behind the net. Taps it back out to center for Kreider. Roslovic, but it's poked back out to center by Mikkola. Lundell, pass back out to the far wing. Here's Verhaeghe. Fires, pad save by Shesterkin. Rangers can't clear. Great kick by Mikkola to keep it in the blue line and puts it back into the corner. Verhaeghe, centering pass. Intercepted by the Rangers and Miller. Miller skates it back out, finds Roslovic, who makes sure he hits the red line and sends it down. Goes awkwardly off the far boards. Not sure if it hit a Panther, ended up between the circles.
Yeah, I think it did. The Panthers heading to the bench to make a change. And
a Ranger there to take advantage as Fox trying to get it around Cousins. In comes Stenlund, but it bounces back out to center, so the Panthers have to set back up. Ekman Larson forced back into his own end by Panarin. Fires it back out to center for Cousins. Scooped up by Stenlund at the far wing. He's got Lafreniere on top of him. Gets it back out to Ekman Larson with a shot, and he scores. And that's the killer. Ekman Larson from the far circle, and the Panthers make it 2-0.
Wow, you talk about the size and strength of the Florida Panthers. This is a wonderful exhibition of how that works. Stenlund just defended himself. I mean, Lafreniere's there. He's there, but he can't outreach or outstrength as, boy, oh boy, that looked like Lomberg came through the net here as the Rangers are going to look. Yeah, I tell you, was Shesterkin allowed to make the save?
Well, then the question becomes, was Lomberg hit into the goaltender by a Ranger?
Right?
Like to see it again, though.
Yeah, well, we're certainly going to see it again as the Ranger coaching staff is taking a look. As Lomberg, of course, the reputation, you know, that fourth line of Florida has been really effective. Lomberg has been a bit of a wrecking ball. He skates well. It looks like they're going to challenge it.
Now, Ryan...
Yeah, we're going to take a look here.
For goaltender interference prior to the goal.
Longberg does enter the crease. He enters the crease on his own. He is not pushed until he's already in the crease. So, does that prohibit Shesterkin from making the save? There have been 5 goaltender interference calls. So he's clearly in the way, and he kicks out. So he's in the crease.
Right.
There had been 5 goaltender interference calls going into tonight's game in all the playoffs, and Florida has been involved in all 5. So Lomberg's in the crease. Now, does he make a lot of contact? That angle.
Well, he definitely seemed to hit the left pad of Shesterkin. Now, the question is that because Ryan Lindgren put him there? Now, he was there anyway.
Right.
Lindgren hits him. But then as Lundberg's trying to escape the zone, he seems to clip the pad of Shesterkin. Now, if the Rangers lose this, it's a delay game penalty, and the Panthers go on the power play. But considering where we're at, 2-0, and the way the Rangers' kill has been so effective, it still may be worth the challenge here.
Yeah, I think it's worth the challenge. There was a call. Well, we're going to get the answer here.
Here's Dan O'Rourke.
Upon review of the play, 94 enters the crease before 55. We have contact with the goaltender prior to the push at 55. No goal.
The Rangers have new life.
And that was the thing, you know, if he doesn't enter the crease, there's probably no contact from Lindgren.
Right.
And so the entry into the crease, as we observed early in that sequence, the Rangers get a break.
And what's considered, Dave, because people sometimes wonder, then why aren't the Panthers penalized for goaltender interference? Because it's incidental contact that affected the goal, but not enough to be a penalty.
Right, that's a good point, Tony.
So here's Rodriguez as the Panthers trying to get some more insurance again. Bounces out of the zone, and the Panthers are going to be offside here with 10:53 to go. And I think that's the distinction, that you can interfere with the goaltender without it being a penalty. Now, Ryan Lindgren's got the right to make contact with Lomberg because it is hockey, but he's in the crease already anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing with goaltender interference, it's so subjective, and nobody's going to be happy.
Well, the other thing that wasn't subjective was the fact that he was in the crease.
Right.
That was clear. It was clear. So, and as the official explained it, with entry into the crease, right there. And then the crowd acknowledged the fact that this thing is going to get turned back. So the Rangers get a break. Face off in front of the Ranger bench. 10:51 left in regulation.
So the Rangers get a reprieve, but still back to work, down 1. But boy, how would 2-0 be compared to 1-0? Montour's backhand goes wide. Shesterkin plays it with a stick and leaves it for Trouba. Trouba up the far wall. Through Trocheck and down. Won't have the legs for icing. Lafreniere on his horse trying to get there before Montour. But Montour gets there and clears it out. Pass goes over to Reinhart. Reinhart passes back out to Barkov with a shot. And a glove save by Shesterkin, and he holds on.
There's a collision with Barkov and Trouba right in front of the Ranger bench. Trouba goes down, and that creates the opportunity for Barkov. Again, there's so little open ice. And now you're down to 4 teams, right? And those plays that open up the ice inevitably create opportunities.
So the face-off to the right of Igor. 10:22 to go in regulation. Face-off won by the Rangers. Ryan Linger will play it to the near corner. He's on his forehand, flips it back out to center ice. Waiting for the bouncing puck was Vesey, but it's poked back out of its own by Ekman Larson, and down another icing for the Panthers, and a 10:10 time left in the third period as it'll go back down to Florida. Here's the ruling. The overriding rationale of the rule is that a goaltender should have the ability to move freely within the goal crease without being hindered by the actions of an attacking player. If an attacking player enters the goal crease and by his actions impairs the goalie's ability to defend the goal and a goal is scored, the goal will be disallowed. So there you go.
Well, again, again, he must have made contact in there.
Face-off one. Panarin with a shot, and it deflects wide. Big face-off win by the Rangers. Panarin slaps at it to try to keep it in, but it trickles back out to center. Panarin gets it back. Nice backhand pass to Trocheck. Leaves it back for Lafreniere. Lafreniere with a wall of Panthers, so he flips it to the far corner, passes to himself, and then grabs it in the corner, back out to the point for Fox. Fox slides it to Lindgren. Lindgren with a wrist shot that deflects off of Verhaeghe, ends up on net, stick to side by Bobrovsky. And it goes to the far boards. A Ranger wipes out. The crowd wanted the penalty. There will be none. Trocheck back behind the net. Centers to Ryan Lindgren, but he couldn't get a shot away. Goes back into the corner for Trocheck. Lafreniere can't keep it in. Kulikov dragged down. It's going to be a penalty.
It's going to be a hook. As there was a couple of questionable non-calls on the Rangers in the offensive zone. It looked like Kulikov had put a grab on Trocheck earlier.
Number 13, penalty, hooking.
So a hook at 10,
Rangers penalty number
28. So when we come back, the Rangers will have to kill off a third power play opportunity for the Florida Panthers. New York Rangers are losing 1-0 to the Panthers here with 9:23 to go in period number 3. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Step inside an Infiniti QX60 and relax in uninterrupted comfort. Leave schedules, appointments, and meetings behind. That can definitely wait. Just turn on the available massage seats and unwind for just a little longer. Until you feel infinitely you. Discover more about the Infiniti QX60 crossover at InfinityUSA.com.
The New York Rangers are back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's time to take the ice for playoff action with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. BetMGM has you covered with countless betting options for hockey, including same-game parlays, props, teasers, live bets, and so much more. With a new and improved app that makes betting faster and easier than ever. And special offers for Rangers fans. It's no wonder BetMGM is the king of all sportsbooks. If you love hard-hitting hockey action, you're going to love wagering at BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of the excitement as the Rangers return to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Light the lamp with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Rangers. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly, 21 plus years of age to wager, and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8788-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York is brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today. 9:32 remaining in the third period. Rangers down 1-0. Alexei Lafreniere for hooking, so the Panthers will go on their third power play. They're 0 for 2.
0 for 2, and the Rangers have done a really good job of support away from the puck. Sticks in the right position in the slot. Face off to the right of Igor Shesterkin.
And face off won by Zibanejad. He's done a good job as of late. Lindgren near last, can't clear, held in by Tkachuk. Play by Reinhart, back to Tkachuk at the near point. Fires a shot that deflects off of Barkov and goes wide. Zibanejad clears.
Yeah, quick to the puck, nicely done. As Verhaeghe and Montour got kind of caught. You got it, I got it. Well, Zibanejad got it, and out it goes.
Tkachuk, head of steam, left wing, cuts up the middle, stops at the far circle, waits for his mates, drops it back off to point for Verhaeghe, and his shot goes wide. Pops into the air. Lingering with Verhaeghe. Goes back out to the point. Tkachuk, chopped that by Zibanejad, can't clear, still held in by Tkachuk. He's at the far circle, drops back off to the wall for Verhaeghe. Reinhart to Montour. Cross-ice pass goes to Verhaeghe. Shot, shoulder save by Shesterkin, and a great play by Trouba to clear.
Yeah, kind of a spinning top, right? He spins around on his knees and thwacks it down the ice.
Approaching a minute to go on a huge kill with 8.5 to go in regulation. Panthers trying to add to their 1-0 lead. Here comes Bennett, right wing. Passes to himself at the near circle. Reinhart up to the far boards, back straight away. Montour finds Tkachuk. Montour with a shot, and it goes into the netting as it deflected in front. Off of Reinhart and off the netting and out of play.
Yeah, Reinhart with the offensive zone entry, right? And eventually it gets back. And Reinhart right on top of Shesterkin. Shesterkin looking around for positioning. And I'm not sure Reinhart actually touched that. I think it went off the right pad of Igor Shesterkin as we take a look. Face off to the right of the Ranger netminder. 8:22 left in regulation. 1-0 Florida lead.
50 seconds to go on the kill. Again, the Rangers win the face-off. Fox flips it to the point. Went off of Ekman Larson into the Rangers bench. So 46 seconds to go on the kill.
Yeah, this is going to be in the neutral zone. As you're right. Ekman Larson batted it, or attempted to keep it in with his glove, and incidental contact knocked it into the Ranger bench. That stopped the play. So the Rangers gained about 80 feet of real estate.
It's not nothing. It's out of the zone.
Right.
And the Rangers on the come here, almost 47%. They win this face-off as well. Now they got to try to clear it out, and Miller does. Doesn't go all the way down as Ekman Larson holds it in at his own blue line. And then we'll bring it up with 35 seconds to go on the Rangers kill. Goes back out to the far wing, Tarasenko. Passes through Rodriguez, back out to the near point for Lindell. Passes back out to Bennett, straight away. Ekman Larson with a shot off the post. Bounces into the air, and Shesterkin's able to clear.
Yeah, I'm not sure that deflected. I think that may have deflected off someone in front.
Definitely took a weird hop in front of the net. 13 seconds to go on the kill. Cleared back down for the Rangers. And it'll go all the way down where Forsling will play it back behind his net with 5. So the Rangers will go 3 for 3 on the kill. Now can go back to work trying to tie this game with 7.5 to go. Lutzerainen leaves it for Stenlund. Stenlund's shot gets blocked away, and here comes Alexei Lafreniere, fresh out of the box, comes sliding down the far side, drops it back off, fires a shot, pad save, rebound, Trouba, Lindbergh with a couple of slaps, it goes wide. He took the original shot. Still they can't clear. His Cousins fans on his shot, goes back out to Trouba. He whips a shot blocked by Forsling. Lafreniere off the post. And Tkachuk calms it down and clears.
Boy, I'll tell you, that all started with a huge hit by Jacob Trouba in the defensive zone.
Wow. See how the Rangers feed off of this. The crowd back into it. Here comes Reinhart racing down the far side, brings it into the zone, looking for Barkov, but the pass misses. And we got a whistle. They can't hear it on the ice. The crowd's so loud. And I think we got too many men on the ice.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, it's too many men on the ice for the Florida Panthers. And I think that all started right in the neutral zone as Florida was coming up ice trying to make the change. Because eventually there were just 5 on. Now Tkachuk is having an argument with the official. That won't get anywhere. He's already made the call.
So
now there are 6 Florida guys on the ice. Well, there's 7 actually, or 6.
13:11 is the time of the too many men on the ice penalty. Stay tuned for the final 5. Brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. Visit them at Tito'sVodka.com.
Mikkola jumps on early as they take a look at the monitor. Mikkola jumps on early for Ekblad. And Jacob Trouba stands up Stenlund. And the Rangers now have a golden opportunity here in a 1-goal game on just their second power play. A power play that had at the end of that second period, right? That dovetailed into the third period.
Well, a big hit. Face-off win, but it splits Fox and Panarin and goes back down. So a big hit, a post by Lafreniere, the crowd back into it, and now a power play. Rangers down a goal. They're 0 for 1 on the power play. Panarin into the zone at the near wing. Panarin. Stick handles for Zibanejad in the corner. Zibanejad finds Kreider. Taps it back out to the far circle. Shot goes wide by Vincent Trocheck. Here's Zibanejad back up top for Fox. Quickly back to Zibanejad. Cross-ice pass off the wall to Panarin. Slings it around the Kreider back behind the net. Kreider finds Trocheck. Back to Panarin at the far wall. Panarin to Fox. To Zibanejad at the near circle. Fox straight away. Fox. Trocheck waits it out. Shot saved by Bobrovsky. Rebound bounces in the air to Forsling. He fires into the far boards. Panarin up the far corner, but Barkov's the first to get there, and he clears it down.
All right, I'll tell you, the Rangers are sniffing around the net here as this period winds down.
1:05 to go on the power play. First unit still out there. Zibanejad back out of the far wall for Panarin. Bobrovsky plays in the trapezoid. Sends it back up to the far boards. Looks to Ryan, he can't clear. Zibanejad is there as well. So is Mikkola. It's pinned to the far boards. 50 seconds to go on the power play. All to the left of Bobrovsky. Panthers trying to milk the clock as it's still pinned. Crowd furious that the puck isn't loose. Now Zibanejad has it. Passes to Kreider. Taps it straight away to Fox. Fox, one-timer. Pad save Bobrovsky. The rebound kicks to the near boards. Fox pokes it into the corner. Fox trying to get it back out to the point. Trickles to the near circle. Fox scoops it back up at the circle. To the goal line. Back up top. Zibanejad. Finds Panarin back to Zibanejad. Rips the shot. It's blocked by Stenley. 18 seconds to go on the power play. Back behind the net. Kulikov off the near glass. And it's great keep by Zibanejad. Fox gets poked in the face, I believe, with the puck or the stick. It's the puck, the official says, so there's no penalty. 5 seconds to go on the power play. It'll be cleared by Kulikov and down. Rangers 0 for 2 on the power play as here comes Lutzerainen. Fakes the shot, cuts to the far circle, still with it. Tapped in front by Reinhart. And a save by Shesterkin, and he holds on.
Wow. All kinds of activity here as, again, Lutzerainen gets himself hogtied as Zibanejad does some job of keeping the puck in, and that does go off the face of Adam Fox, and then Shesterkin takes exception to, Florida jabbing at him when he's down in that position to cover up the puck. So, New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York, and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Hey, New Yorkers, tonight's hockey is presented by Heineken Silver. New Heineken Silver is a world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and just 95 calories. Choosing a light beer usually means sacrificing on taste or quality, but with Heineken Silver, say goodbye to compromise. Heineken Silver has all the taste with no bitter endings. So this spring and throughout the playoffs, grab a surprisingly crisp and refreshing Heineken Silver. Taste the difference. Available at your local Heineken retailer or for delivery at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Last call. Last call, last call, last call. Hey, New York, this is Michelle Scalisi from Security Dodge. Come get a last call. And right now, you can take up to $10,000 off MSRP on our like-new Chargers and Challengers. Plus, they have a huge selection of Scat Packs, Swingers, Shakedowns, Demons, King Daytonas, Hellcats, TRXs. Do you want to roar? Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during our Memorial Day sales event.
Ranger fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there is only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel have the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been serving New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premier customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate traveling experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call 212-206-6974.
4:42 left in regulation here in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Panthers still with a 1-0 lead on the Rangers. The Final Five is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. Visit them at titosvodka.com. The face-off will be to the right of Igor Shesterkin.
Well, again, Bobrovsky has earned his stripes here as the Rangers finally get a couple of golden opportunities here in the third. Saved by the goalpost a couple of times here tonight.
Panthers also lost a goal on a goaltender interference by Ekman Larson, who would have scored the goal. Barkov at the far boards. So the Rangers still just down one. Zibanejad to Roslovic. It doesn't go all the way down thanks to hitting the linesman. The Panthers send it back down, so Igor will steer it over to Trouba at the far corner. Roslovic again will try to clear. Goes off of his stick to the near wing, and the Miller will send the Rangers back down. Roslovic sends it in. Ekblad just sends it back into center ice, where Miller gloves it back down and fires it to the near boards. Swings back into the far corner. Verhaeghe to the blue line, held in by the glove of Miller. Good job looking for Zibanejad, but Forsland cuts it up and goes to the far boards, and Verhaeghe will pass it through Miller, trying to catch up with it, but Igor, way out of his crease, the far circle, fires it off the far glass, but not out. Verhaeghe's able to get it back, and it goes off of Lafreniere and in. An own goal by the Rangers on the centering pass, and now it's 2-0 with 3:48 to go.
But you know where the trouble was here? Was where Shesterkin put the puck. And he gets himself caught kind of in no man's land coming out, and Verhaeghe just goes to the boards and throws it to the net. Now Lafreniere, but the whole issue was was where Shesterkin had to play the puck. He was coming out. The puck looked like it was up for grabs. So he comes out and throws it just diagonally to the boards, and Verhaeghe's the only guy there.
His centering pass goes off the stick of Lafreniere, and Verhaeghe gets his 7th unassisted, and that makes it 2-0 with 3:40 to go. The Final Five brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. Visit them at Tito'sHandmadeVodka.com as we get a whistle and a face-off down to Bobrovsky.
Yeah, the Rangers will get an offensive zone face-off here. Face-off to the left of Bobrovsky, who stood tall when he needed to here in the third.
Lindbergh off the face-off. It's Juan Gustafsson near circle. Shot deflects, I believe, off of Bennett's stick and way out of play with 3:33 to go.
Yeah, that got launched high into the netting. So Bobrovsky is working on his second career playoff shutout. It looks like Igor Shesterkin is exiting stage right to the Ranger bench. So the Rangers will counter with Lafreniere, Fox, Panarin, Kreider, Trocheck, and Zibanejad.
So the net empty to our right with 3:33 to go, and the Rangers down 2. Zibanejad versus Reinhart. Face-off won by the Rangers out to the near point. Fox slides it back to the far boards. Shot deflects out of play off the stick of Panarin, and we'll do it again with 3:28 to go.
Yeah, that actually went off Lucerainen, right? The Florida Panther. That's the thing. The Panthers just have big bodies. You know, Lucerainen's a big man. You know, Mikkel is a big man. Barkov's a big. Ekblad. They got a lot of size in this Florida Panther hockey club. Face off to the left of Sergei Bobrovsky.
Panthers with 17 block shots, the Rangers with 16. Lafreniere back to the far point. Panarin sets up Fox straight away. Looking for a deflection from Lafreniere, goes through him. Trocheck back out to the near boards and Zibanejad. Zibanejad on the backhand. Back to Trocheck, back to Zibanejad at the near point. Passes to Fox straight away. Back out to the far circle. Panarin back to Fox with a blast. It goes wide. Goes to the near circle. And Reinhardt's able to clear as Fox plays it back at the red line as we approach 3 minutes remaining in regulation. Rangers down 2. The goal is empty to our right. Ekblad clears to the point, but not out as it's gloved down by Fox off the near boards. Centering pass by Kreider, picked off by Lucerainen, but then steered by Panarin into the far corner. Panarin looking for Kreider back behind the net, but it can't get through a wall of bodies. Still to the far corner, squirts back to Zibanejad, who blocks the shot, toe save, and then the rebound by Trocheck, steered wide. Far shot by Panarin, knocked down by Bobrovsky, and he's able to grab the rebound and get the whistle with 2:36 to go.
Boy, he's been good. Bobrovsky has been good here in the last 6-7 minutes. He really wasn't tested an awful lot here. But boy, oh boy, we talk about his athleticism, and this particular sequence, he darts out with the left pad in a bit of a Dennis Savardian spinorama, gets himself back into position to make the final save. So there's been a timeout called here by the New York Rangers with 2:36 left in regulation. A first period goal and a third period goal by the Florida Panthers, and that's where we stand.
Well, this group of 6 has been effective here in the waning minutes to try to get at least the first goal of the game, so why not the timeout to keep those 6 out there?
Well, again, you talk about, so far the difference in the game, maybe a missed glove by Shesterkin, and then a bit of a misplay with the puck by the goaltender, and it goes off a Ranger stick into the back of the net, and that's really how close it's been. And yet the Rangers really only late here in this third period, the last 5 or 6 minutes, have been able to crack the code to force Bobrovsky to be a big part of the Florida Panthers story.
Well, the big moment was that Lafreniere post, and then that power play the Rangers had at 1-0. Face off to the left of Bobrovsky, won by Florida, but controlled by the Rangers. But Fox can't keep it in as it's poked by Litzerainen back out to center ice. Net is empty to our right with under 2.5 to play. Rangers down 2. Fox backhands over to Panarin to the near wing. Digs a little deeper and then will come out with it. Pass too far for Lafreniere, so it'll be played by Kreider, who sends it back down. Bobrovsky will play it in the trapezoid, pokes it on his backhand to Kulikov, and he clears off the near glass. Not down far enough for icing, so Fox will play. Panthers will change bodies as we get close to 2 minutes left in regulation. Fox across the crest of center ice, pitchforks it high into the air, glove down by Reinhart, and sent back down off the far wall. No icing, so Fox on his horse. Bennett tries to get around him. Fox is able to stabilize it for Lafreniere. Backhands it up, but it's taken back away, and the shot goes wide off of Bennett. Comes to the near boards. Bennett's shot, that also goes wide. Kachuk looking for his second goal. Will send it back behind the net. But the Rangers able to calm it back down, and it's Panarin. It's going to come out the near side. Panarin makes a move around Bennett, kicks it to his stick, sends it down. Here comes Lafreniere, leaves it back for Zibanejad. Zibanejad wraps it around the wall. Lafreniere helps it to the near boards, but Kachuk is there to cut it off. Backhands it over to Bennett. Bennett across the red line, fires towards the empty net and scores. And that'll give the Panthers the kill shot, 3-0 with 1:19 to go in the third.
Yeah, again, the Florida Panthers, you hate to go back to the dark ages when I played, but you play against Montreal, you play against Boston, who were really good, big, strong teams, and you just could never get the puck. They're just so solidly. Florida has been a solid physical presence, and they haven't played out of control. They've forced the Rangers at various parts of the ice, and when Bobrovsky had to make a save at 1-0, he did, and got the benefit of a goal post.
So Bennett will get his third goal of the postseason into the empty net. So with 1:10 to go, Igor Shesterkin's back in the crease. Panthers get tagged for an icing. So the Rangers dropped the first game of the series, Dave. Game 2 back here at the Garden on Friday.
Right. Friday night. And again, I just think the Rangers will kind of take a look and figure out how, and again, can Florida, if that's the best Florida's got, which is pretty darn good, the Rangers just have to figure out a way to somehow be a little bit quicker and a little more precise with the puck to create time and space.
Miller's shot knocked down by Lundberg, goes right back to Miller. Leaves it back for Kakko, slings a shot, deflects off of Ekman Larson into the netting for a whistle with 57 seconds to go. And don't forget about the post that Schneider hit scoreless in the first on that breakaway. Lafreniere hit a post down 1-0.
And then Cooley had a breakaway in the second period that Kulikov did a nice job just getting his stick on the stick of Cooley before he could release the puck.
So with everything Florida did, a break here, break there, and maybe things are a little bit different. And it's face-off win by the Panthers, flipped by Kulikov to Cousins, and Cousins content to just backhand it all the way down. With 50 seconds, Miller leaves it back for Trouba. Absorbs a check from Cousins, pops into the air. Cousins back out to the point for Kulikov. Risks the shot that goes wide. Lundberg slaps at it. Wenberg gets in the way of that. Stanlin up the far boards. The official gets in the way. That allows Miller flip it off the glass. Kakko can't clear. Miller's going to try again. Under 30 seconds to play. Squirts back into the corner. Rangers gobble it up back behind the net with Wenberg. Spins off a check and will bring the Rangers right to left with 15 seconds. Wenberg loses to a Cousins check, allowing Stenlin to come in the far circle. Risks the shot, pad saved by Shesterkin. Miller grabs the rebound of the nearest circle. Flips it back to center ice for Hedel. Hedel taken hard into the boards by Mikkola, but Hedel still at his knees gets up. The clock's going to zero out, and the Rangers drop their first game one of these playoffs by the final score of 3-0 to Florida.
You know what? That hit might have epitomized what happened in this hockey game. Mikkola just gets there so quickly and just follows through on the check. And most of the night, Florida, their physicality wasn't necessarily that big hit, but just getting there with size and speed. And on the bell, and I watched Lomberg run around here on the final shift also. So I think the physicality Florida came billed as a very physical team. They were smart, they were disciplined, and they were physical. And that was the story to me in game one here, and the Rangers fall 3-0.
So Tkachuk in the first, and then Verhaeghe and Bennett in the third. Rangers ended up with 23 shots on goal. The Panthers with 27. And the Rangers lose 3-0. First time that they've lost a game one of a series after sweeping the Capitals, winning the first 3 games of the second round against the Carolina Hurricanes. So now the Florida Panthers have home ice, and they will play game 2 here at Madison Square Garden. Rangers looking to even the best of 7 series at 1. That'll be Friday at 8 o'clock. I'll have the call with Dave Maloney, and then the Rangers will head to Florida for a Sunday afternoon game for game 3. So the Rangers with work to do as they trail a series for the first time in these playoffs as they drop a 3-0 decision to the Florida Panthers. Dan Gross is going to take you through the rest of the way. He will recap the game, play the highlights, and preview game number 2, which will be coming up on Friday. Rangers drop a 3-0 decision here at Madison Square Garden. Thanks to Gary Jeffries back here at Madison Square Garden. Ray Santiago as well. We'll talk to you again on Friday here from the Garden. You're listening to Rangers Hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event when Dave, the sales guy, asks, want to test drive the Rogue? And I'm like, let's go. We're driving when Dave says, check out the VC turbo engine. I hit the gas and whoosh. I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Dave goes, if you think that's cool, watch this. Dave shows me the miles per gallon and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty impressive fuel economy. Dave mentions, these new cars are going fast. And in that moment, I had to have that Rogue. Crazy, right?
Wait till you hear how I got my Sentra. Now get a low $269 per month lease for 36 months on Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city, 34 highway to 30 city, 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. Well-qualified lessees, 2024 Rogue S all-wheel drive, $4,409 initial payment excludes tax, title, license, and $695 acquisition fee. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. N6324.
Welcome to the New York Rangers postgame show. Now, here's Dan Grossa on the MSG Radio Network.
And we welcome you into the New York Rangers postgame show. Dan Grossa with it. Well, second time in the last 3 years, the Rangers found themselves in the Eastern Conference Final. Anticipation, buzz in the air tonight for a game 1 at Madison Square Garden. And at least for the first couple of periods, things were played pretty close to the vest with these two teams. A lot of the feeling out process, as you would expect early on in a series. Rangers, as a matter of fact, were held scoreless for the first 2 periods. For the first time in these playoffs, 1-0 the score, Florida going into the third, but the visitors able to get 2 on the board, including benefiting from some puck luck as a cross-ice pass was inadvertently directed past Igor Shesterkin by his own teammate Alexei Lafreniere. The Panthers would also tack on an empty netter as well, and they would win game 1 by a score of 3-0 to take the home ice advantage in this series. And as you heard Don just say, first time the Rangers have trailed in each of these playoff series yet so far in this playoff run. So the Rangers see their home playoff record fall to 4-2 in these playoffs. And you certainly have to tip your cap to the opposing goaltender, as Sergei Bobrovsky was outstanding tonight for the Florida Panthers. Maybe he wasn't tested all that much in the first couple of periods, but made a couple of real crucial saves in the third, especially when this game was still 1-0. Rangers had a power play opportunity as the Florida Panthers got caught for too many men on the ice at 13-11. Rangers had a couple of really good chances, and even prior to the power play, the Rangers were buzzing a little bit with 7 minutes left, but Bobrovsky could not be solved. So he has 23 saves tonight for the shutout. He has now allowed 2 goals or less in 6 straight games in these playoffs, and if the Rangers want to get back into the series, well, paramount on the list will be to solve the Florida Panthers netminders. So it's just one game. Rangers will try to get back at it and even up the series coming up on Friday night at Madison Square Garden. We are just getting started here on the New York Rangers post-game show. When we come back, we'll take a listen to the highlights. We'll get some locker room reaction. We'll hear from the head coach, Peter Laviolette, and we'll check out the out-of-town news and notes around the National Hockey League. New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Ranger fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there is only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel have the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been serving New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premier customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate traveling experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call 212-206-6974.
Dan Grasso back at the New York Rangers post-game show after the Panthers take Game 1 of the best of 7. They blanked the Blue Shirts by a final of 3-0. Before we proceed, let us pause 10 seconds and allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Rangers hockey. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN FM, New York.
And it is time now for the Rangers' best parts of the game, brought to you by Infinity. Second time in 3 years, Rangers find themselves in the conference final. Igor Shesterkin, Sergei Bobrovsky, an outstanding goaltending matchup for this Eastern Conference final. Not a lot happening, though, early on. As I said before, teams kind of feeling each other out, getting reacquainted with one another, now beginning a very long physical playoff series. Midway through that first period, Jacob Trouba would be whistled for hooking and sent to the penalty box. Special teams going to be a big factor in this series, as you would expect. Both penalty kills outstanding amongst the Rangers and the Florida Panthers, and the Rangers PK does their job, killing off that first Florida power play. However, about 6 minutes after the Trouba penalty, it was the visitors who would get on the scoreboard first.
Gobbled up by Forsling. Brings it into the zone, leaves it back of the wing for Tkachuk, who fires the shot and scores. Matthew Tkachuk draws first blood in the game and the series, and Florida takes a 1-0 lead.
He does indeed. It's 16:26 of the opening period. His fifth of these playoffs from Gustav Forsling and Carter Verhaeghe. Tkachuk snapping a 5-game goalless drought. He now has 39 points in the postseason in the last 2 years combined. But hope not lost, certainly, if you're a Ranger fan at that point. Yes, it's still the first period. Plenty of time still left. And out of the 8 wins that the Rangers had stockpiled already in these playoffs, half of them came when the opponent scored the first goal of the game. However, the Rangers, though, before we got to that first intermission, made a great push to even the score, courtesy of one of their defensemen.
Kulikov leaves it back for Listerine, and his shot is knocked down by Lindgren. Rangers coming. Here comes Braden Schneider on a partial breakaway. Now a full breakaway off the post.
Good opportunity from Braden Schneider, but it would not go. And that was the end of the first period, with the Panthers leading 1-0. Rangers only had 5 shots on goal in that opening period to 9 of Florida. We'll see how things would unfold in period number 2. So early on in the second, though, the Rangers had a bit of more of their legs underneath them. They came out with an aggressive push and another breakaway chance on Sergei Bobrovsky.
Lindgren comes out the other side. Up the wall on his forehand, sends it back out to Roslovic, gets it back out. Here comes the Rangers, and Cooley with a shot and a pad save by Bobrovsky on the breakaway.
So first Schneider, then Cooley, 2 chances in on Bobrovsky, but neither one able to hit the back of the net. But still a good burst for this Ranger team to start. 4 shots on goal in the first few minutes of the second period, and when you think about the Rangers only had 5 in the entire first period, maybe a sign of things to come, that things would be turning around just a little bit. However, the momentum halted a little less than 8 minutes into the period. Jack Roslovic called for high sticking, but once again, the Ranger penalty killers would do a nice job. Later on in that second period, Igor Shesterkin asked to stand a little bit taller, especially when you're talking about Alexander Barkov.
Ekblad spins at the hash mark, still with it in their wall, and then taps it back into the corner. Gustafsson battles with Verhaeghe, all to the right of Shesterkin. Centering pass to Tkachuk, backhand Barkov, and a glove save by Shesterkin.
Good job by Igor keeping things in check there at 1-0. Rangers would finally get their first power play of the night, 18:34 into the second period. Sam Bennett called for holding the stick of Adam Fox. Rangers, though, would not be able to capitalize, at least with the time allotted in the second period. So we would go to the second intermission with the Rangers trailing 1-0, and only 6 shots on goal for the Rangers in period number 2. And that was actually the first time this whole postseason that the Rangers would be held scoreless through the first 2 periods of a hockey game. 34 seconds of carryover power play time to start the third for the Blue Shirts, and they would not be able to capitalize. Then we approach the midway point of that third period, still a 1-0 hockey game, and very, very critical stages, because you're thinking not a lot of offensive opportunities, both goaltenders playing very, very well. You figure the next goal in this hockey game was going to be extremely, extremely critical, and at least it appeared that the visitors would be the one to register it.
Scooped up by Stenlund at the far wing. He's got Lafreniere on top of him. Gets it back out to Ekman Larsson with a shot, and he scores. And that's the killer. Ekman Larsson from the far circle, and the Panthers make it 2-0.
Yeah, Ekman Larsson, you thought at 8:43 had the goal there. That was his second of the postseason. And even though there was still a little over 11 minutes to play in this hockey game, Rangers down 2-0, and maybe that was a hill that was too steep for them to climb when you consider that they really have not had many chances in this hockey game. However, when you looked at the replay of the goal, you noticed that Ryan Lomberg of the Florida Panthers skated into that blue crease area in front of Igor Shesterkin all by himself. Then Ryan Lindgren appeared to make contact with Lindborg as he fell in front of Shesterkin before the puck would beat him and into the back of the net. Peter Laviolette and his coaching staff would check it over. They would issue a challenge for goaltender interference, and it was a worthy one at that.
Upon review of the play, 94 enters the crease before 55. We have contact with the goaltender prior to the push of 55. No goal.
No goal indeed, so the Rangers still very much alive, only trailing still 1-0 in this hockey game. However, midway point, Rangers still down 1-0. Alexei Lafreniere called for hooking at 10:28, so the Rangers shorthanded once again, but as they've done all night, they would do their job, killing off another Florida power play, so they would finish the night a perfect 3-for-3 in terms of the penalty kill. Not long after that kill, maybe some momentum for the Blue Shirts, because it was a flurry of activity on Sergei Bobrovsky.
Looks around and leaves it for Stenlund. Stenlund's shot gets blocked away, and here comes Alexei Lafreniere, fresh out of the box. Comes sliding down the far side. Drops it back off. Fires a shot. Pad save. Rebound. Trouba. Lindbergh with a couple of slaps. It goes wide. He took the original shot. Still they can't clear. His Cousins fans on his shot. Goes back out to Trouba. He whips a shot blocked by Forsling. Lafreniere off the post. And Tkachuk calms it down and clears.
And Bobrovsky even lost his stick during that flurry for a moment of time, but still good pressure. Rangers just could not get that one to go at 1-0. However, they would have more momentum on their side because not long after, the Panthers would get called for too many men on the ice. Not exactly the change that you want if you're Florida at 13-11. So the Rangers get another opportunity, down 1-0, second power play chance of the game. However, they are unable to capitalize with the man advantage. So we now get to the point where there's about 5 minutes left in regulation. Rangers still down 1-0. Would they have an opportunity for the equalizer? Clearly, the next goal in the hockey game was going to be crucial at that stage of the third period. You talk about puck luck being how instrumental as it is, especially in playoff games, could maybe decide a tightly checked game. Well, the same thing happened tonight. Unfortunately, it went against the Rangers.
Verhaeghe will pass it through Miller, trying to catch up with it, but Igor way out of his crease, the far circle, fires it off the far glass, but not out. Verhaeghe's able to get it back, and it goes off of Lafreniere and in. An own goal by the Rangers on the centering pass, and now it's 2-0 with 3:48 to go.
Yeah, so Lafreniere, you heard moments ago, took that hooking penalty at 10:28. Then he's unfortunately wrong place at the wrong time. Carter Verhaeghe essentially skating down the left wall, tried to fire a cross-ice pass to a streaking Matthew Tkachuk. Alexei Lafreniere stuck the stick out there to try to deflect it away from the goal. Instead, he poked it past Igor Shesterkin into the back of the net. Verhaeghe gets credit for the goal. That's his 7th of the playoffs at 16-12. And more importantly, the Panthers pad their lead. They now have a 2-0 edge with just under 4 minutes to play. Moments later, Igor Shesterkin would get sent to the bench in favor of the extra attacker as the Blue Shirts try to at least get one back with still a little over 3 minutes to play in this hockey game. However, with the net empty, the Panthers sealed this one for themselves.
Zibanejad wraps it around the wall. Lafreniere helps it to the near boards, but Tkachuk is there to cut it off. Backhands it over to Bennett. Bennett across the red line, fires towards the empty net and scores. And that'll give the Panthers the kill shot, 3-0 with 1:19 to go in the third.
And that silenced Madison Square Garden as you could hear it, and the 3-0 final in Game 1 would go to Florida. That was the Rangers' best parts of the game, brought to you by Infinity. Experience the Infinity lineup at your local retailer today. It is time now for tonight's Thriving Player, brought to you by ThriveWell Infusion. Third star of the game was Carter Verhaeghe, who had the goal and the assist. Second star, Matthew Tkachuk, who got the night scoring going with a goal, also had an assist in this one as well. And the number one star of the game couldn't be anybody else other than Panthers goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky, turning aside all 23 shots that the Rangers fired upon him. That is tonight's Thriving Player, brought to you by ThriveWell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and injection center, saving lives drip by drip. So back to the drawing board for the Rangers. They'll try to even up this series coming up on Friday night in Game 2 at MSG. Still more for us to do here on the Rangers post-game show. We come back. We'll head inside the locker room. We'll hear from Mika Zibanejad, from Chris Kreider. We'll also get the thoughts of the head coach, Peter Laviolette. You're listening to New York Rangers hockey on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network. Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and are here to help with your heat and water heating needs. Hockey season is the perfect time to replace the beast in your basement, inefficient boiler and tank-type hot water heater. A 96% efficient Peerless boiler and a Pavilion tankless water heater are the perfect match for homes, apartments, commercial buildings, you name it. Get all the heat and hot water you need efficiently and save on your energy bill all year long. Learn more about the entire Peerless Boiler family of products and to find a local installer near you, visit peerlessboilers.com or paviliontankless.com. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
The Honda you want is here, so drive in the moment with the versatile CR-V or Accord, both named a Car and Driver 10 Best. And when you're driving a Honda, you're driving the brand named Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value Brand for 2023.
Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details. Car and Driver, December 2023, based on 2023 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
I love a beautiful, healthy lawn. That's why I use True Green. They take the hassle out of fertilizing, aerating, and controlling weeds plus mosquitoes. All you have to do is water and mow. Give yourself time back to do what you want. And to top it off, sign up by May 28th and save an average of $200 when you bundle lawn care and mosquitoes. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price, guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
Attention hockey fans, let's talk winning off the ice. ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge infusion therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. At ThriveWell, patients receive care, comfort, convenience, and compassion so they can get back to cheering for their favorite teams. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites along with breakaway treatment from their highly trained medical team. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives drip by drip.
Dan Grasso back at the New York Rangers postgame show after a 3-0 Florida victory over the Rangers in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Game 2 coming up on Friday at MSG. Let's get some locker room reaction right now from tonight's defeat, starting with Mika Zibanejad.
Mika, what do you think of the overall game tonight?
We have periods of the game where I think it feels like we're getting going, but overall, I don't think we get up to the level of play and execution that we want.
You had some chances late. I mean, you just got to look at that for the next game.
I think obviously it'll be easier to look through the game tomorrow and immediate reaction. I don't think I thought we started off the second pretty good. We have some chances there first 4 or 5 minutes, and I don't think we create some chances and stuff. And I mean, it's a good team that we're playing, but I think we just execution. I think we execute a little bit better coming out of our own zone and through the neutral zone. I think we play less defense and we get more offense. So we'll just look at what we how and what we can do better and